gentlemen, to episode 45 of the Glory Days podcast. We are back. Feels like more of the same compared to where we've been the last 3 weeks, unfortunately. But we're used to this by now, so we're going to carry ourselves through with plenty of maturity. And we're not going to get
the manager.
We're not going to get too heated.
So, you can't win them all.
Well,
no.
I think it is just important before we mention this that recently, as of last night, unfortunately, there was a shooting at the Bondi Beach Children's Hanukkah Festival.
Yep.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the people that unfortunately lost their lives, their family and friends, and all of the surviving people that were at the event, or just anyone affected by the situation as a whole.
Yep.
It's absolutely terrible. You hate to see it happen anywhere, especially in Australia.
Yeah.
And look, that's probably going to be the last we touch on it, because we want to try and just keep this about football and just leave the politics and everything out of it. But it is a horrible situation, absolutely. All of our thoughts and prayers from all of us at Glory Days go out to anyone affected by this.
Yeah.
Let's get into the football. Let's get into the football.
So round 8, I think it was round 8. 1-0 loss to Sydney FC at home. We did say last week this was going to be the big test, for as much as the Western Sydney game was a test in itself.
Of course.
Before we touch on our initial thoughts, we'll go through the fan comments. So Muller, he said, a tough one to take, showed great fight until the end, dare I say a brave loss, lack of effective impact subs, Costa, Sydney time wasting was elite, great to see Sam Sutton get a run, would like to see him or Shamoon start at left wing in place of Penno, who didn't have a great game. Daniel Fieldgate, poor goal to cop so early, but from there it felt we were on top, drove the game, created the chances, just couldn't find the equaliser. Couldn't help but feel if we had Tags or JK on the pitch, we finish off one of those chances we created in the second half. Yep. Injuries to key players a big concern. Daniel, he said, promising performance that gives, Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place, that gives confidence that we can match it with the best, created enough opportunities to win the game, but lacked the finish without Tags. Griffo did well to shuffle the cards given the injuries. Christine, to hold the top team to 1 goal shows Perth Glory can certainly hold their own now. After a disastrous start to the season, this great team are now coming together. Keep it going now, guys. Well done. James Merrin, fully understand the conditions were tough with the heat, but we should have kept the tempo up and made Sydney fatigue. The heat and the time zone is enough to knock them, but we played their game tonight, very slow on the ball and not enough urgency going forward. Bo Raphael dominated the second half and created good moments, but lacked conviction in the final third with Tags and JK out. Hoping the injury gods are on our side. Sutton and Ngo were fantastic when they came on. If we can play like that again next week, we can take 3 points heading into Christmas. Joel, he said, not bad, just needed more shots. You could see how much we missed Taggart. Jordan played solid. Sydney sat back after their goal, and unfortunately it worked. Arguably one of the best losses the club's ever had, considering we put in 100% effort for 90 minutes. Praying that Taggart and Kaczarski aren't out for next week. Don't lose faith, lads. We'll be back next week. Peter Allen, Will Franey was immense, as established by the SofaScore and football ratings, as we
and the Paramount Player Index.
Yeah, so
as we were told.
As we were told, yes. Couldn't take a trick with injuries. Sydney was sharp at a start, but we were more matched. We more than matched it with one of the better teams in the league. We will be in trouble if both strikers are out for an extended period, though. Another Daniel has said, we lost, but so much better than the first few games. Goals conceded from the first few games compared to the last few games has improved dramatically. Just need to score. Team has some fight in them now. Pockle, never start Pennington again, please and thank you. Now, I hope that's about Pennington at left wing, because he was...
all I'm going to say,
no,
he played on the right. So you haven't proved nothing. He played on the right-hand side.
Were you not?
No, he didn't.
He did.
He did not.
He was playing off the left.
He was playing on the right.
On the first half,
he was playing off the left because Tom was playing.
He was playing on the right.
Okay, but not the first half when he was useless as well, wasn't he?
Oh, I would say useless.
Okay, well, he wasn't doing a good job.
He wasn't effective.
No.
And did someone come up? Did someone come up at full time and ask you about Penno at left?
Yes, he did, didn't they? On the way to the members' lounge.
Maybe we'll save that because there's a few more to get through.
Useless isn't fair. I wasn't meaning it that way, but like,
Dom,
he didn't have the same impact.
I'm only saying that because I'm trying to get under Alex's skin. He wasn't useless, but it's not his position.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
no.
Lachlan, we were easily the better team for 70% of the game, but we need to create more clear-cut opportunities. Still should have scored 1 or 2, saying that. Injuries are giving me doubt for next week's game. Also, the crowd was only at 6,689. Thought there were more than that, but we still won 3 in a row. It's Saturday at 6:45. I genuinely don't see us cracking 8,000 unless we give out free tickets. It's like fans have had enough of seeing us, even if we are decent right now. Jamal Lowe, missed Despotowski already. Sad face. Freeney, man of the match. Christos, a bit of an interesting comment. He said, we looked flat in the first half and Sydney capitalised, and with the experience they got, they knew how to grind out a result and get over the line. Despite 3 great results, I'm still unsure on Griffiths as the head coach.
Oh.
Ethan, Pennington left wing experiment must end. Michael Orwell can't win them all. So,
Alex. I will say on that Christos comment, No, never.
All right. In your own time, James, Mr. Popular, it's okay. Would you like to share with the podcast?
Oh, it's about tomorrow.
What's tomorrow, James?
Breaking news.
Ooh.
So this, you guys would have already known because it'll be released tomorrow. But Adam Griffiths is going to be announced as the head coach tomorrow. I don't know what the deal is going to be though in terms of length, but yeah, he'll be announced tomorrow.
3 years.
No.
3-year deal.
I swear to God, this is not personal when I say this, but if it is anything,
it should be a 5-year deal.
No,
Super
if
max.
it is anything more than an end of season deal, I'm going to lose my mind.
So if it's a 2-year deal, would you be disappointed?
Not disappointed, but I'd be like, really? Like,
Have we not learned our lesson?
Have we not learned our lesson? Like, it should be an end of year deal with targets. If you hit these targets, then you get given an extra year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Year plus an option from the club to add if you hit these KPIs. That's
so like an end of
insanity, though.
end of season plus 2 or something.
No, end of season plus 1 if we make finals.
Yeah, but that I feel like
Did I not say end of year hit finals you get a year extension, and you guys said no, that's harsh, he should get 2.
Yeah, well, no, we said 2 because
you said no,
a coach
you
is going to want more than
I said if he
a
gets
1-year
finals,
deal.
it's a year. If he wins the league or wins the finals, it's 2 years. That's what I
But
said.
giving it it was harsh to say you only get a year
Yes.
after this season.
Yeah.
After this season, if you make finals, you get a year.
1 year. So
give him 2.
He's rolling on a 1-year contract. That was what you were saying, and that's what we said was.
We
harsh
said
at the time.
if we make finals, give him a 2 year.
Yeah, 2 year.
Because finals should be a bare minimum.
Final should.
With this squad, it should be a bare minimum.
Okay, but like with this squad, yes, but also now we're down possibly our 2 main attackers. So like if we to make finals,
and Despo and Wales for an extended period.
With that in hindsight, sure, you can say whatever, but
also a 2-year deal is much easier to get out of than a 3-year, like we saw with Dave.
And he needs a bit of security if he's going to stay.
For sure.
Because
if he smashes it, it's not. There's no guarantee we get to keep it.
If you go
down.
No, but I'm just saying, if we finish 6th, I don't necessarily consider that smashing it. If we get top 4, fucking fair dues, give him 2, 100%.
Well, we can talk about trajectory afterwards, but let's get into the game.
I'll give you trajectory.
We
I'll give you 2 years.
Can we get some initial thoughts, Josh?
I'll give you life.
Shut up, William. Josh.
Can
I get some thoughts from you on the game?
I thought Sydney defended quite well. I mean, clearly they had a very experienced back line, but I genuinely just thought we just couldn't crack them. Like after the first What's funny about that? What's funny about that?
Will so immature.
You need to sit out.
No, but like, okay, after their first goal, I felt like they read the game well and just they sort of knew how to.
They did what they needed to do.
They knew what to do.
Fuck, Will, what's going on?
I'm so sorry. This twat.
Okay, Josh, you may not know.
It's making me laugh.
But the current trend online, like, it's just like a new meme that
to crack something is to fuck something.
Yeah, crack means to fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you said we couldn't crack, it's like, okay, so why are you trying to crack Sydney?
I didn't laugh at that. I lauged at him laughing at that.
Okay.
That is so immature.
Anyway.
Sydney knew what to do. I fucking.
Sorry.
I didn't say a word.
You're making this hard for me.
All right. Is there anything else to add?
Well, I had something to add, but now I forgot.
Oh my.
So what you were saying before is that they defended well.
Yes.
Tisserand and Grant.
Yes.
Twin Towers, mate. They were fucking.
All right.
They were.
Oh my.
Plenty of people said Twin Towers.
No,
not
I'm
me.
fully aware of that.
But they were. We couldn't get past them.
But yeah,
one of these episodes.
We should have had
Twin Towers.
Shut the fuck up, Will.
We should have had 2 or 3.
Yep.
What I'm going to say, I know we'll go into this later. The amount of injuries we're having is beyond ridiculous, but that's going to be its own section.
It's suspect.
But yeah, no, we should have had at least 2 or 3. We could have had more, but we just need we need to work on our finishing. We can't.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
perfectly
That
fair.
summarizes the game.
Alex, some quick thoughts, please.
On the game, as a whole.
Yes, sir. What else are we talking about?
Oh well.
Crack.
Shut up.
Look, I did say this on the night after the game. The biggest compliment you can get from a team like that is when they're so willing to just sit back and just, just make things so difficult for you. They completely gave up on playing any sort of forward-thinking, attacking football the moment they scored. And I think that it's unfortunate. I know a lot of people are going to say that there wasn't enough urgency and we should have scored and this and that. Yes, we had chances. Yes, I think we should have scored, but I also don't think we necessarily had the correct players for the kind of situation. That I feel is also kind of on the issue of the bench. I don't understand why we had so many defensive-minded players, but we didn't have Labib. We didn't have like a taller striker like a Blair or a Popovic. I know, Blair and Popovic. But if Sydney are going to go into their shell and pack the box extremely tight, it's gonna mean that the only way you're going to score is out of individual brilliance, out of a shot from distance, which we were unwilling to take.
Can I just add real quick? Sorry, Alex.
Yeah.
The closest we actually came to scoring, I'd say, was Kaczarski's ping. Would you say?
I would say
header.
Caltech's chance in behind. He should have headed it back across the box to an open teammate. But
Was
he
it
went
Taggart or was it JK?
I think it was JK.
JK,
But to continue my point, when you get to that stage where Sydney are packing the box extremely tight, you're only going to score through individual brilliance. You can score through a long-range shot, which we weren't willing to take on, or you have to score from a cross into the box, or a deflection or a bit of luck or whatever. But a cross into the box, we kept going for it and going for it and going for it. And yes, we hit our marks on a few occasions and probably should have scored, but we didn't really set ourselves right up for it. You didn't have... I think Labib could have added some really good quality sort of coming up from deep and attacking that back post for a Sutton cross. You could have had Blair or Popovic on the bench, and I know they're not
What's
great.
with the facial expressions?
I know they're not.
Like?
No. It's a different point, but I'll say it.
I know they're not great, but Blair or Popovic, you do add that bit of extra height. Maybe they drag an extra man to him. Maybe they create a bit of a space for someone at the 10-yard spot. Maybe there's a gap in behind or in front. I just think that we didn't have the players necessary to play the game that Sydney clearly forced us into after we went 1-0 down. I think we lost that game the moment we went 1-0 down.
Will?
Sorry, we're not doing this again.
Yeah. No.
I think we've all kind of forgotten this. We did score a very fair and
That is true.
definite goal.
Yeah.
And it was just not given.
Referees cheat.
Like I'm being so serious. That is a goal. The arm was tucked in. There was
It was
no,
very soft.
no elbow.
Gariccio shat himself and went, oh, fuck,
and
I've
just
got to
fell,
go.
hoping that would work, and it did.
Yep.
And that's
I've
disgusting,
unsubscribed
by
from
the
the
way.
Football Friends podcast because of that, by the way.
Right.
I've unsubscribed.
Blacklisted.
Genuinely, like, that is one of the main points of VAR. When there's a 50-50 call like that, you play on, let the play develop, and then if it's a foul, you go back and look at it. You don't call it's like with offside, right? You don't if you're not sure, you don't call it because then VAR can help you out. That's literally the whole point. And then yet you make a dumb call.
This is the thing. We've had as a league a big drop off in the amount of goals scored per game.
No, yeah.
Like we were averaging, I think, 3 goals or something scored a game last season, and now we're barely hitting above 2.
Yes.
Fucking let it play and let the goal stand and let it be a bit more of an end-to-end.
To anyone, that is a goal. He's barged, which is legal. His elbow stayed tucked. He's not chicken winged anyone. It's a goal.
Well, they did because he didn't go over the speaker and explain it, did he? Which is what they're meant to do, no?
But there wasn't even VAR. There
wasn't a review.
It wasn't a review.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you just let play on and then VAR review.
Well, there's a better question.
but
Why
he
didn't
called-
VAR pull him up?
No. So here's because
He called the foul.
So
before,
like the play
before-
ended before the ball was in
So
the
like
net.
VAR can't step in, can't
Exactly, because the play had ended before the shot happened.
That's what
Even
we're
though
saying.
the
Okay,
goalkeeper
right.
still played the shot.
Yeah.
The ref had already blown.
Yep.
So if the ref didn't blow, let the play go on,
Yep.
balls in the net, and then reviewed it, sure, maybe then we see a better angle. Maybe it was a foul. But looking back at it, it wasn't a foul. Nowhere
It
near
was
it.
soft, and Griff was kind of talking about it at the end of the game.
Yeah.
The point that I was wanting to make, I was pulling a face because how many of you were clocking on to what Sydney were doing in the back end of their warm-up when they had their back
I was not there.
Okay.
So
So what
I was getting a burger.
fair enough. So what they were
I do remember you saying as well, and I quote, "Is it just me or does Sydney look really flat?"
they looked flat in a passing drill that they were doing, but what I was more so
I wonder why.
Yeah, but more so what I was talking about was they were working on the positioning of their back four. So their back four and their midfield, 1 or 2 either way, they were working on how do we position ourselves for crosses. Their back four was all defending as a zone, and they all got back into the top of the box expecting a cross. So they'd done their homework. They knew we had no other option if we were able to work it down wide other than inshallah swing it in and let's hope that Taggart or JK can pull something out of their ass. Lo and behold, they didn't.
Not their fault, really. Though,
Well,
was it?
in the second in the second half, do you want to know how many crosses we had in the second half?
In the second half, 16,
17.
6, 7. No,
In the
like 21.
you were close. So we had
Yeah.
we had 20 crosses the whole
Yeah,
of the second
it felt
half.
like very
It
Cross,
felt
cross,
like a
cross,
lot.
cross, cross, and I was kind of joking because we bumped into Anthony Radic and Stan Lazaridis at the end of the game, but it was just like the amount of crosses that we sent in that Alex Grant dealt with, and all of a sudden Grant just decides to turn into the Glory version that we know of, where he was just unbelievable and we couldn't get past him.
and oh my God, sorry Alex, but Pennington, that last chance.
Yeah,
He should have scored that.
He should have
scored that.
absolutely.
He should have scored.
We need to touch on this because this was
Whoa.
something that you and I were upset by.
Oh, the
What?
clapping.
Yes.
Oh my
So
gosh,
after the game, okay.
Yes.
And this isn't to knock any sort of like whatever.
And keep in
right?
mind, we did talk to Granty about this too, and he said he was
Yeah.
fine with it. He understood why.
Yeah,
but,
we
like,
spoke-
he
we spoke to
was a
Granty,
bit
he was-
like,
he was
oh,
fine
well,
with
that kind of sucks.
But,
yeah,
after the game, obviously we're very upset because we've just lost to Sydney. Devonish Mears goes over to the Bay, gives them some of these.
yeah,
Very justified. Wanker.
yeah, that's fair.
Alex Grant then goes over to
Applaud the shed,
applaud
and
the shed,
act-
applaud the
yeah,
Bay.
yeah.
The Shed, rightfully clap.
As the Glory legend he is. Yes.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure this wasn't the entirety of the Bay, but like there was a decent section of young kids there,
Yeah.
probably no older than like 14, 15, that then started pointing back and going, wanker,
I'm like,
assuming that he was taking the piss. And I understand they're kids, and when Granty was last at the Glory, they were what, like 10?
10 or 8, yeah.
Oh, like, legit 8, 9 years old. They wouldn't have known.
yeah, of course.
But
He's a club legend.
it's
should-
just
they
so
should,
disappointing. I really wish that we would do something before games. Just like, if we have a former Glory player on the
Welcome
other
back,
on the other team,
yeah.
and welcome back, Alex Grant, welcome back, Keegan Yelich, like
Yeah, but what other club in the world does that?
But it doesn't matter. Like, why do we? have to be
Obviously,
like
he's a
other-
club legend, but he's just
Yeah,
he's just,
I agree with Josh. It's like you've got a big game coming up.
Yeah.
It's like I don't feel the need. I don't think we should be as a club being that sentimental.
but like he's
it's
one of the
Alex
main
Grant,
reasons
though.
why we lost, and like
Okay, but
Yes, he's a club legend.
Like, let's not forget, like, when Shane Smeltz left,
Yeah.
I can remember a few occasions when he would come back and play against Perth when he was with Sydney.
Yep.
He'd get amazing reception, and we get a please welcome back Shane Smeltz, because everyone loves
Yeah.
Shane Smeltz, right?
I don't know,
And he didn't win anything with us.
yeah.
But
yeah.
I guess it's kind of like a difference in like fan support though, because you've now
Yeah.
got
I think it's also just a difference in the player.
with the younger
Like, we're not going to do a welcome back Carlo Armiento as
No,
much as I love
no,
Armiento.
no.
But
I
like,
think we should.
let's say for the sake of the argument, if Castro, after the Popovich
Yeah,
season,
that's what
left
I'm
to
That's
a-
different.
left
Yeah,
to like
that's-
Melbourne City, came back and played. Welcome fucking back, Diego Castro. Like, you know
Every
what I mean?
time, not the- yeah,
every
every
single
time.
time.
Yeah.
But even when
Every time.
Bruno Fornaroli went to Victory, like
We
everyone
should have been doing something.
Yeah, but
for
everyone
Bruno.
booed him.
We
Yeah, but
booed
we
him.
should have been doing something.
Okay,
for
to be
Bruno.
fair, but then he did go and applaud the fans after the game, and everyone clapped him back.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
and he
No one
wanted to
did.
stay.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I will say also, and this isn't a dig at any particular people that were in the Bay.
It is so a dig.
It's a dig.
Why do you hate me so much?
Just continue, please.
Okay. When I was, I guess, like 8 or 9 years old, and then I would start. This is actually a great example because I started, kind of being around the Glory 8 or 9 on the TV, but then I started going to games when I was like, 12, 13, like around there.
Yep.
I would have known, just based on basic knowledge of the club that I support, who Alex Grant was. Because I would know multiple players that I may not have been around for at the time, but I would know the name because I'm that interested in the club that I would find out for myself.
Yep.
Exactly.
Especially someone who was a part of our greatest A-League season ever. You should know that. Like, I'm not trying to, attack a bunch of children here, but as a fan, I would imagine that you should know someone who was here fairly recently.
But also, Will, you got to consider that these, like, we're very passionate fans.
Yeah, no,
They're
I know.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that the
Yeah.
people that were there were casuals that were giving him
No,
shit?
that is
Probably.
this,
Yeah.
and this is gonna add into what we talk about later.
We
but we'll
all
move on.
know Shane Smeltz. right?
Yeah, but
everyone knows.
everyone
But
smells.
this will lead into what
Glory-
we have
like
to talk
Glory
about
fans
later
do.
about
Yeah.
what happened last night.
That's why
But
we weren't giving him shit.
let's swiftly move on because we can touch on this later.
I like you, Alex.
Lineup. So, 2 forced changes. Trent Osler was suspended, and we spoke to Sebastian Despotovsky before the game. Straight up asked him, I said, how long are you out for? And he said until the
A month, didn't he?
until the first home game of January. So there was a rumor or something I heard that leading into the Western Sydney game, Despo was carrying a calf injury. Does his calf in the game, and then he's out for an extended period. So
Oh, fuck. No, Alex! No! Why have you done that to me?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's been months.
What?
I know.
Oh, you're such a dick.
No, this is James Renton's fault.
Why?
He
said-
it's not his fault.
We said the game. How could I not think of the game?
You fuckers.
It's been months, mate.
I know.
I didn't even think of it when he said it. You
I'm
didn't have to
so
ruin it for
sorry.
me.
No.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, so he and Osler were both out for this game, and then Risdon came in at right back. I remember we had the debate about whether Risdon should start at right back or not. And then Alex finally got his wish of Pennington at left wing.
Yeah, this is all your fault.
Yeah, this is all your fault now. So, what did we think of the lineup?
No.
What did we think of the lineup, Will?
No. No, it was
no?
I think
No, like on paper when I first saw it, I was
it's the
happy
best
with
we
it.
had.
Yeah.
But the bench was always a bit.
The bench was like, uh-oh.
Like it's
I didn't even mind the bench. It was
saw
just
your
like
tweet.
there was a few decisions that I just didn't understand with.
Yeah, no Labib and no. Look, let's not pretend that Nat Blair's a superstar, but also for what we were playing against, two massive
If
centre
you're going to
backs.
swing in that many fucking crosses,
Yeah,
and
if
not
that's
have
the game
Nat
plan,
Blair
you should have
on
the tallest
bench,
guy
then
on the
what are you
so-
doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, that it makes. Look, I'm not trying to start a dialogue against Griffo, but that's kind of seemed like a no-brainer.
Griffo out.
Unless Nat Blair has been told he's no longer welcome at the club and he'll be gone by January, and he's not a part of the future
Still
plans.
play him until then.
No, but like he may have been told you're not even going to. He could be a part of a cut list in January. We don't know. It's possible. Maybe that's why Gabby wasn't there.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible that
Yeah.
he's just been told you're not involved until, and then you got in January.
Yeah.
January 1, you're out the door.
Potentially, but
Like-
this would have been a game for him.
I know, but like out of principle, it's
Yeah,
entirely
no, that's
possible that
valid.
he's just been
That's
cut
valid.
completely.
I mean, this would have been a game for Labib, a right back starting.
I think it would have been.
well, and I think that's a very valid point because
That
actually,
first goal.
goal, well, the only goal of the game.
Doesn't
We're
happen.
going to talk about the lineup a bit more.
We'll
Obviously,
talk about it. We'll talk about
because
it.
I think it's the best we could have done. Alex, what do you think? of
Lineup.
the
We
lineup?
have so
Yeah.
we
Yes.
You loved it because Pennington, right?
Pennington left wing. Yes.
In all seriousness, I
All right. So what?
Yeah, Josh.
Hmm?
Lineup.
No, Alex.
Well,
What
I
do you think?
thought,
Oh,
okay.
in all seriousness, I actually do think that Labib should have started that game at right back. I understand why you would have Risdon there, experienced
the right
pick.
back. Yeah.
The right back
Yeah.
at right back. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand
Great
why
point.
you would have Risdon there, experienced player,
Yeah.
but
And it's Josh Risdon.
he just did not have the physical capabilities. And we
Wrong.
said this.
No,
We said this.
don't ever slander my goat, Josh.
But he's not wrong though.
No.
If all I'm going to say, if we started Andriano Labib, I don't think Hassan Toure gets away from him that quickly for that opening goal. Maybe he does get through,
We're gonna
but
get
not
to there.
that easily.
We'll get.
That's why I said lineups, Alex.
So yeah.
Ah!
The thing is, I
Hi.
can and can't blame Griffiths because on paper he is our best, not our best, but like our most experienced veteran right back, right?
Yeah.
But how do I say this in the nicest way possible? I can't say he's in the best physically.
He's not the same
best
Risdon that we
shape
had
that
when
we
he
had
was there.
before.
Yeah. That's fair.
Of course he's not. But also, James, do you have any thoughts on the lineup
I
before we talk about the first goal? 'Cause
uh,
this is what we're brewing to here.
I was satisfied with it.
Okay.
I thought it was the best that we could do. I would have liked to have seen Griff experiment a little bit more with shape.
Yes, I agree.
Because we'll touch on it. Actually, we'll segue into it now because obviously the conditions were shithouse.
Oh, yeah.
So kudos to players on both teams for battling out for as long as they did because, no one took a backward step, especially our boys who kept going on till, was it the 97th minute? Was it 6 or 7 minutes at added time? Was it 97th minute or whatever? But yeah, it was sorry. It was
7 minutes.
yeah, no, it was great from the players.
Somehow.
But I was concerned to begin with because we started off the game flat and
Yep.
our shape out of possession was getting dicked by Sydney FC because they had the extra man in midfield. Yes, you can say that, Will. Yes, so they were killing us in the midfield, and it was only a matter of time before they had their first goal.
Shut up.
All right, so before we touch on Risdon's positioning, the question for me is also with Kaczarski beforehand, before it gets to Risdon's moment. Because Kaczarski steps out, I think, a little bit too early and allows an easy pass to Al Hassan Toure, who's by the touchline.
But you can't ask the attacker to be a defensive masterclass.
I'm talking about timing of pressing, because pressing since Griffith's taken over,
I understand.
We've been one of the best pressing teams in the league. So
funny that
I know, but Kaczarski, I think he stepped out a little bit too early. Al Hassan receives in space. That causes Risdon to kind of go, shit, do I step out or do I stay back? He then stays back, and that allows Al Hassan to come in. Then what happens is a chain reaction. You get him cutting in, and I was not the biggest fan of Risdon's body shape, because I think he was allowing enough space for...
Well, he just fell for the 1-2.
Well, the 1-2, you're going to hate me, because I'm going to have a go at your mate, because I think he was ball watching a little too much. But I'll explain why, and then you can defend him. Okay. Bozanovski... I think he was ball watching a little bit too much, because if you watch the goal back... Initially, Quispe is it Quispe? The Peruvian lad.
I have no idea.
Fair enough. So he was
Quispe.
He was initially
Where's Crispies?
He was initially Brian Kaltak's man.
Pumpkin.
And then there was the handover to Bozanovski. At that point, Quispe was Bozanovski's man. But Bozanovski is too focused on the ball. He's ball watching, but he wasn't the only one. Watching the ball.
Yeah, Rizzo was.
Quispe steps off. 1-2, Al Hassan, bang, slips in behind. And it's just a combination of fuck-ups that contribute to Sydney somehow getting the most jammiest of goals. But I think it's not fair to blame just Risdon.
No, of course not.
He did get burnt, and he was caught out of position, but I think there were more layers to the goal
than just Risdon, of course, which is why I will always
and keep in mind.
Look, if you don't,
I will defend Risdon.
Just talk over Josh.
No,
Alex. Go on, Alex.
I will defend Risdon a little bit,
yeah,
because with that Osler red card, and he did come back from injury. I wouldn't say he's 100%. He was 100%. I know he didn't play 90, but he had just come back, but was forced to start because of Osler.
This is true.
Maybe.
But I think Trent's got that position nailed.
We had Sutton just
true.
back.
Sutton, you'd be very careful of risking Sutton.
Yeah, but that's fair. But to say he was forced to start.
No, he was always. Yeah, he probably was going to start by default, because I guess you'd rather an experienced
he's a
guy.
right back. Yeah.
Well, but he's experienced going up against somehow a player that's now in the Socceroos setup, but he's a good player.
The Socceroos finest.
Yeah. So, can we get some thoughts on the goal?
Yes, but first of all, my brain is kind of, where's Rice Krispies from again?
Man's Not Hot.
That's it. Man's Not Hot.
Yes.
Rice Krispies. Yeah, that's right. I forgot where it's from.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
some thoughts on the goal, please.
Yeah. Sorry.
Before our viewers inevitably complain again.
About what?
us losing track.
Huh?
Oh yeah, sure.
Us losing track. Can we start?
Who complained about that?
Plenty of them do.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh, lighten up, you lot. Jeez.
Okay, thoughts on the goal.
It was a bit shit, wasn't it? Like, in watching it live, it did kind of just look like it was Rizzo's fault. Because on the replay on the big screen, it was like the pass, Rizzo gets dragged into watching the ball, and then he just, straight past him, and then it's a tap in. It's like, well, and to be fair, it was so, I don't want to say lucky. I'm not trying to be like a biased Glory fan here.
Yeah.
But, you know, the amount of,
such a shit cutback.
like the amount of balls we put into the box and just couldn't get one to go right.
And the jammiest of cutbacks.
And then they do it once and they just somehow beat the heels of every single Glory player, and it somehow just
And it was to that prick Wallity as well.
Look, that gets avoided if we if we just somehow, like, not even somehow, if we started the game as bright as we finished it, then that never happens. Sydney have to still push forward, and I think we do score a few goals. But like, let's be fair. I think we'll talk about obviously more in the game. The goal itself was not the best I've ever seen, but that then conceding early to Sydney FC is like a death wish. Yeah. So that it was very poor.
Now, if we were coached by Zadonki, we probably would have lost that game 2-3-0.
No,
I apologise for being a bit too harsh, but that's
generous.
But it's
we lose that game 5-0.
Heat tax. I think they wouldn't have gone on to have scored that much. But either way,
you're doubting the goat.
Either way, I think we would have got, we would have been in a fair bit of shit. But Alex, thoughts on the goal?
There's not really much I can say that
Do you think I'm harsh going up? No, I'm not criticising Bozanovski because he's.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are harsh in criticising him. I think, look, he had a phenomenal game. Otherwise, he had a great game. But I think he was caught lacking for that first one, to be fair. Kucharski wasn't good enough with the press. I think Risdon did get caught too wide and didn't track his runner.
Yep.
That was bad from him.
Yep.
Look, I'm not saying necessarily that having Labib there fixes everything, but with the benefit of hindsight, it wouldn't hurt.
Maybe he keeps up with Al Hassan.
That was what you said before the game, and I agree. Like, I think the pace is because let's be fair to, I think just general. I think we can all agree, even Sydney fans would agree. Al Hassan's biggest strength is his pace.
Yeah, it's not like he beat Risdon with some phenomenal skill move that Labib would have got sent
faster.
for. He just fucking outran
and
him.
Labib probably would have been able to catch up to that.
Yeah, and then the cutback was just like there's not.
The
much
only
you
thing
can
I
say
just want to
about
add is it a little bit harsh to say Shamoon's positioning at the back?
No, I was going to touch
poor.
on this. Shamoon, I think tucked too narrow.
Yeah.
I think he should have.
He lost track of the
stayed a
guy
bit
back
wider.
post, and
Yeah. It's a surprise though that we're even talking about defensive fuck ups when we've been pretty much flawless under Griff for the most part, especially since the international break.
It just felt like I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, it's a typical Glory goal to concede, but it's like what we then went on to do from there, that was much better. So I think up until the drinks break, we were still quite shit. We were still getting toyed in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Then Griffo did something that we didn't really see Driller do at all during his tenure.
change his mind.
Change the setup. The setup. So initially, I apologize for being a nerd here, Will. But so I'm using my brain here, so that's why.
Yeah, but you can now. So it's okay.
Instead of pressing with two, he had
expected gigawatts used per night.
he had
0 day.
He had Tom Lawrence drop off, and he was marking Reece Yuli. And I think from there, that's when we started to get more possession. That's when we started to get more territory and have a bit more fun from there. The goal itself, the goal that was ruled out. As we touched on, fucking stupid. I don't know.
That changes the whole perspective of the game, and Sydney can't drop back and settle for a point because they won't want to.
Yep.
And we get something from this game for sure.
It was
It's just another
softer than a butterfly's farm.
Another game that I think has been completely determined by the referees. And I'm not saying that we couldn't have scored because we had a whole game to go with it.
Yep.
But you just cannot, in a professional league, rule out a goal that it boggles my mind. Like
Very
the standard of
soft.
refereeing in this league is genuinely hurts my head sometimes. I don't know how anyone can be so incompetent as a group of people on a weekly basis. But all you have to do is watch basically any A-League game any weekend, and you'll see some absolutely shocking calls.
Yep.
Because they just somehow make the game about themselves. I'm sorry, we say the Premier League's got a pretty bad level sometimes.
Well, our referee.
That was shocking.
It was
But the referees over here are a piss take.
I don't think the ref had a good game. Very simple.
When did they have a good game?
When is the last refereeing performance where we've come away and said, "Oh, you know what, that referee did"?
I think the last time I can recall that was it was the Adelaide 4-1. Because I remember saying on the pod, a referee has a good game
when you don't notice
him. And I feel like it was a very free-flowing game, and everyone was allowed to do it. I think it was a game that we lost. I actually think that Brisbane game that we had as well.
Oh, where we considered the Klein double.
Yes, there was a fairly open game. There wasn't a whole lot of fouls.
No,
the
the
Amos
referee was
goal
good
was
there,
good. Like those are two games that come to mind last season. I haven't had any this year.
Yeah.
Either watching on TV for other A-League teams or at the actual game itself. It's genuinely it's gotten worse somehow, and it's always the same culprits too. Like bloody Mark Goldbridge is the worst of them for sure.
It's because of the lack of funding. It's just
It's
everything.
It's not lack of funding.
Lack of brain cells.
But the league in general is suffering. Like the quality of everything's going down.
You're fair in saying it, and we sort of touched on this a few weeks ago. But if you're not going to make the funding there to make referee a full-time profession, then you're not going to get the highest standard of referees.
No,
so
I'm not trying to be mean, but you can't. Like there is a reason VAR exists, right?
Yep.
And that is to assist the referee in decisions like that.
Yep.
So you let the play move forward.
But to be fair, under Griffo, we've now kind of set a bit of a precedence of being a side that fouls far more often.
Sure.
Because we're currently second in the league for fouls. We are third for yellow cards. Okay. So look, I think we are, but that's a product of us being more combative. And I think
understand
Sydney FC were like, fuck, we hope these guys are going to be pushovers and we can, do our business. But the fact that we didn't do that, I think it's a credit to the players. Caltech's header, as we kind of touched on.
Oh, man.
Fuck. I don't know how you don't score or you don't square it.
He looks like he got caught in two minds. He didn't know whether to square it or shoot, and he just kind of. I think he was going to square, and then last second, he was like, "Oh shit, I should probably shoot," and then he tried to shoot when it was too late. His body position was already wrong.
Yep.
Stuffed it. And this is just why I want to say this, right?
Oh.
And I'm not going on a tangent, I promise, for anyone's going to complain.
No, do it. We can get a clip.
Okay. How refreshing, I think the word I'm going to use is it, right? We've just played the number 1 team in the league. You can argue whether or not they actually are, but in terms of points,
Well,
they are.
first.
They're first, right? So like
So there you go.
pure statistically,
Yep.
they are the
Yep.
best team in the league. And we're currently sitting here talking about a narrow 1-0 loss in which we could have scored a couple in the first half. We did score one, which should have counted, and we had a cutthroat chance just afterwards, which should have gone in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of talking about a 4-0 drubbing.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
It
It's
is.
nice. It is
I'm not
nice
saying
and
it's
refreshing.
good. I'm not saying it's like perfect, but isn't this so much nicer?
It is, but it's
Yeah.
making me more pissed off whenever we lose now. Last because the
It's just-
last
But isn't it nice to have some passion and some
Yeah,
feelings?
It is nice to see.
Hey guys,
It is nice to see. And
to the Jets again.
I think I brought this up before. It's the real test for Griffiths is if he can get that front line sort of clicking, because we're just being we're trying to be too fancy. That's the problem.
Yep.
Tommy's doing flicks here and there, and I'm like, lad, shoot the ball, shoot, please.
I don't know if this is like the right thing to say, but like I don't mind the players having more cracks like from outside the
Absolutely.
box.
Well, I've unfortunately got a whole essay on shooting, so I'll save that. I'll save
Especially
that
the
for
way they were
end,
dropping
but-
back. A deflection
Yeah.
is so easy when they got 10 in the box. You just whack it and something's going to ping off someone and go somewhere.
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
So
I agree.
Because the brief point that I wrote about it was I think we tried to score the perfect goal, or we were trying to be too
100%.
selfless.
Yeah.
When it's like, fuck it, just have a go. I mean,
cannot wait.
7-ish beers is not the greatest
No,
goalkeeper in,
and I
in the
I
league.
cannot
So,
wait
you know.
till we get to that Charbel Shamoon chance when he's like just inside the 6-yard box. And
Yep.
Because the funny thing
on
is
his right
the
foot.
amount of times everyone's like, shoot, and then, it's another pass. Shoot, he's passed it again. Shoot, he's
they're
passed
going
it again.
backwards.
And we're going backwards now. Shoot, we've lost the ball now.
Just hard
Yeah.
Bro, I do it on
Yeah.
FIFA all the time. You just double B, low driven, far post, bro. Just
Yeah, we're just trying to be too
cute.
Just rifle
fancy.
it, lad.
So,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Taggart.
Hey.
He'd been managing a groin issue all week. So Arion Soleimani had his chance, and I think we were saying this, all of us at the game. This was Arion's moment. This was his moment to, if he wanted to sort of establish himself in the team and kind of at A-League level, this was his chance. Because we'll touch on it more in the player ratings, but we all right? Yeah.
Alex is just
Okay.
I'm literally not even
So-
doing
don't
anything.
do
Sad,
that.
bro.
So, I just want to touch on Arion because, I thought it was I want to be as respectful as I can, but I thought it was a very disappointing performance.
It was awful.
It was about as it was like playing with a traffic cone up front.
You know when you bronze bench on FIFA,
yeah.
and then someone gets injured, you have to sub them off.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
So now,
like,
I want to be respectful, but it was like playing a traffic cone up front.
boys, what do you mean be respectful? You say that.
That's what he said.
no, but it's,
is that what you said?
Yes, I said that. Yeah, no, but this is the thing. It's we kind of touched on it before in that if you're coming into the team and you haven't had many games, you're coming
Of
in
course.
cold because there's been no NPL, there's no
zero sharpness.
there's
at all.
nothing. So
No.
it's
I
almost like trying.
I want to be respectful, but it was like playing a traffic cone up.
Yeah,
front.
honestly. Yeah, I want to be respectful. He was awful. Yeah, yeah.
No, I didn't want to come off.
No,
the
of course.
ground
Look, he's a
like that.
professional player and he hasn't had any game time, so we can't expect the world of him.
No.
But I tell you what, it just was a little bit underwhelming.
It was below par.
It was. I think it's been kind.
Yeah.
It was genuinely like a nothing burger, if you will.
Yep.
It's just a shame we didn't have anyone like Kolakovsky on the bench, hey?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
a
well,
shame.
maybe next.
Look,
maybe
I
next
will
year.
say, I don't exactly think Soleimani had the best of conditions in that half.
Of course
because
he
Sydney were sat really deep, really tight, no sort of space to. I mean, he's not like a work your magic kind of player.
No.
He's tidy, but he's not a phenom. He's not El Fenomeno. He's not going to get on the ball and
No,
start doing.
but this was his
bloody
Alex
all this
Hunter
shit.
moment. He gets subbed on after an injury to their star striker, and this is his chance to really make an impact and insert himself
But
on
you
the
know,
team.
but you're not.
Go on there, Hunter. Like, you know,
But this is the thing.
like,
You're not.
Hunter.
You're not. This is the thing. We've got a lot of players that can
That was
play
a
at the
bad miss,
A-League
Alex.
level, but not a lot that are good at the A-League level.
He reminded
I
me of
agree.
Ivanovic.
Luka Ivanovic.
Yeah, Ivanovic.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of, and we'll touch on this a bit more towards the end, but none of our subs had any real sort of impact.
No, they didn't.
So that was disappointing in itself because
Oh well, I'd say
not very fair.
Sammy,
Suts and Kwa.
Sammy.
Nah, Kwa.
Oh, James.
Wait. Wait till you hear what he said about Kwa, right? And I'm not saying I disagree
No,
with him.
Bro, when Kwa
We-
came on and
yeah.
he made one of the Sydney defenders
Can
eat
we-
shit,
can
that
we-
was so
can we-
No, just wait, Alex.
we'll get there.
I want him to the what he says.
Okay. Okay. I want to hear this word for word, by the way.
No. We'll
We'll
talk
get
about
there
it
because he's not been brought on just yet.
Okay.
No,
So-
just wait.
47th minute, Soleimani had his chance, and it was a good ball in from Shamoon. Thought he should have, probably should have hit the target at the very least. If the goalkeeper saves it, no worries. Our only shot on target came from Tom Lawrence with his header that went straight to Devonish.
Bit more power on that Zin, by the way. He just couldn't quite get that power on it. Slow. It was behind him, to be fair. Like he had to kind of
Could have he gotten more power on it?
I don't
No.
think so because
No.
the cross had gone. He had to kind of lean back.
If he had Brian Kaltak's neck, then yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
for
what
sure.
I'm trying to
Top
say.
corner.
Fella.
Yeah, that would have. Well, no, actually, it wouldn't
Yes,
because we did have that one chance with Brian and he missed. So
That's true.
But I'm saying
Power header.
The only scenario in which you could get a header like this and just send
But
it
from that far out in that position.
just Brian
No,
Kaltak.
so
neck it.
Sydney
Mark
de-
Beavers, where are
so
you?
playing National League, I think.
Postman
No, he's a
Pat.
postman, yeah.
Postman Pat.
Oh right. So yeah,
Is it-
Sydney.
Works as a postman.
They defended their box exceptionally well.
Yes.
So Grant is probably staking a bit
No
of a
cracking.
smoky for making the Socceroos squad next year. You'd think for the World Cup. I think he put a
Bro saw one game.
Who's this?
Alex Grant. We'd love to. Hey, it'd be great
James,
in
I
Popper's
don't-
back three.
James,
I know he's
know
not-
about that.
I thought.
Look, you have a lot of guys
Alex-
that come. Okay, arguably, and I would say this is a completely fair argument. I think Grant is right now on form the second best centre back in the A League, behind Lucas Harrington.
Yep.
I would rather Grant in the World Cup squad, but
Yeah.
only if we're not taking Kai Rolls.
Valid.
And I don't want Kai Rolls.
But
So
do you
I will
think-
take Alex Grant, but Kai Rolls can fuck
But
him.
you think he's at the very least making a good that game.
He's making a good impression. I think he's definitely making
and
his
this
best
game
case.
in particular, have we seen a better game from Alex Grant?
2019.
Yeah, when though? Which game?
Popovich.
Yeah, but which game?
Every game.
He was solid in every game, but I don't think he was superhuman like he was in this game.
But here's
There's one game that comes to mind. I can't remember which one it was.
There might be one, and I'll probably get proved wrong in the live chat with
There
the
was
comments.
one
but
game where he just went absolutely bat mental and just blocked
the
every
season
shot.
before, the season before he left for Korea,
Yeah,
he went up another level then. But
he
this,
was like player of the season level, like centre back. Like
And
for sure.
James, have your thoughts on Tisserand change? Tisserand? Is it Tisserand?
Tisserand.
Tisserand, yeah.
Tisserand.
All I said was he played poorly in the derby, and I thought he was good against.
That
us.
was not what you said.
That's
did.
not what you said.
How about we go word for word?
He was. I said he wasn't good in the derby.
You said, and I quote, he was shit in the derby.
Yeah.
but it was fine in every other game and fine in this game.
You did not
You
say
did not
that.
say
He's-
that.
No.
did not
I'm
say
saying
that.
now he's fine.
We asked you what your
fine in
thoughts
this
on
game.
Tisserand, and he said in the derby he was shit.
Yeah, so that's
And you didn't
one
say
game.
anything about.
That's
oh,
one
but
game.
he's been fine every other
That's
game.
one game. That's one game.
I will
Boo-hoo.
defend James here. You guys are right.
You're valid. No, okay. So you wanted me to touch on Kwa since he and
Don't
Sutton.
touch Kwa, please.
Fucking idiots. No. So he and Sam Sutton got.
You mean cracking idiots?
Yeah, don't crack Qua.
Bro, he's one of the only ones that actually listens to the pod, by the way. He's going to hear this.
I know.
Oh, no. Oh,
He
no.
can-
no. Get it? We're saying like, no,
He can. Oh.
Shut the fuck up.
He can give me some shit by scoring against Adelaide ideally.
Oh yeah, they'll really show you. Wouldn't they?
Oh, that'll show you.
It'll show me better than Pennington at left wing, but So
I hope
look,
Pennington sees this.
so I thought. Yeah. So because I did talk to you about this as we were.
Yes, but I didn't necessarily disagree with you either. So I'm going to be here to
So
possibly back you up here.
Right.
Depends what you say now.
All right, say it now.
I thought he tried to do too much.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, he was trying to be Lionel Messi, which is not a bad thing if you can pull it off. And he did a lot of good dribbles, but
Too much.
sometimes just a bit too much. Like, and you just can't dribble past a 10-man team.
Yeah, because the point is that Sydney, this was like watching a carbon copy of the Mariners and the Melbourne Victory games, where we had umpteen amount of possession, and the teams that we were playing against both were sat in deep. They had their advantage on the scoreboard, and we were fucking hopeless as to how to break it down. I think there were probably too many times where, because I think Kwai's trying to impress because he's like, I don't know where my next opportunity is going to come from.
Absolutely. And I
Because
will
it's been
say-
inconsistent when he's been getting
But
minutes.
it was really nice to actually have someone come on the field and actually try something
Yeah.
instead of just lobbing it in. He was
And
he was trying
you're
to
gonna
be
remember
creative.
like
it was
when
really nice.
because I feel like obviously with Wales and etc. injured, we're lacking a lot of pace, and he's our only really pacey option off the bench, attacker wise.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why, like, he should be a guaranteed bench player, I think, at the very least.
Yeah.
He has
100%.
such a creative spark off the bench. I don't think he should have to fight for a position at least on the bench.
I will say
Like
as well.
I just said, like a team needs speed, and
he's
offers,
perfect. Like he's a really good option off the bench, like at the bare minimum. So we can probably talk about this later in the podcast, but I'm genuinely confused about some of these selections for the bench.
This is something I wanted to touch on later, but I'll touch on Quire right now.
Will you?
Yes. Look, I don't necessarily disagree with he tried to do a little too much, but at the same time, he was easily our best attacker in that second half. Easily,
I think you're polishing a turd to be respectful.
Don't call Quire a turd.
No, like like the whole front line itself was just completely ineffective.
Okay, yes, but at the same time,
nothing else was working.
Yeah, nothing else was working. But I'm only saying Quire tried too much in the context that he would beat two men, be in front of goal, and then try and beat a third. I would appreciate if he would hit a shot at some point. But
he did have that one shot, which I guarantee you was
going to bottom corner.
It didn't get blocked.
I thought he had a good cameo. Look, I think Quire's given us and should have given Griffo enough evidence that he, at least, up until Collar comes in and he can fight for that place, should be in the matchday squads.
I would not be shocked if he starts against Adelaide. And I think he probably
we'll get onto this later, but he's making a serious case for it.
So no, my broader issue is more so about system, right?
Yeah.
So just give me 2 minutes here because I'm that
That's
much.
a long time, James.
It's a long time.
It's an Alex response. So
actually above average time.
So the point is that under Adam Griffith, since he's been our interim manager, we've been one of the worst sides in terms of getting the percentage of our overall shots being on target, right? So we're not too bad when it comes to actually getting shots off, but we're shit at getting them on target because our current rate.
What about on Kmart?
Shut the fuck up. No, so for every four shots on target that we have, we score. That's the current rate that we're going at. So the problem is that we don't get enough shots off as it is.
Yes.
We don't move the ball into advanced areas consistently or well enough.
Oh. Yes.
And I just think it's something that Adam is going to have to fix over the long term since he will be the head coach because I think what he has done. Did I mention in terms of how similar we played this season is very similar to how the Wanderers played in Ruden's?
You did with the Rudan season.
In Ruden's.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think it's almost identical in that.
I agree.
We're very defensively solid. We're ruthless. And when we can transition, we're good. The moment we're then given the ball and it's like, okay, now you've got to be the one that dictates and creates chances against the block. I thought we were fucking hopeless.
Mr. Renton, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In those chances that we have, like, is there a stat that says how much of a chance it was to get it on target, but we just didn't? Or are we not creating good enough chances to get it on target? So, like, for example, are these, like, shots from outside the box that are just straying wide? Or should they realistically be shots on target, but we're just not being clinical?
We're suffering from poor shot selection. So that's why our conversion rate isn't terrible. So
it's not like tags,
but it's not great.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're not getting into positions where we can actually have a high chance of scoring.
Gotcha.
Right. So about 6 of our 13 shots were blocked.
Yep.
The other 6 were off target.
Yep.
And then the one shot that was on target.
Tommy
was inshallah, it was a header from.
Well, let's be fair.
box.
Tommy's shot right near the end was 100% on target, but it was blocked. I think a lot of the block shots were on goal. But when you've got 7 block players in the box sticking your leg out, it's really difficult.
But this is the thing. Before the game got to that state, we didn't manipulate as a team Sydney's block well enough.
Absolutely.
So,
but again, we did score.
We did, but it's like we talk about sustainability, right? Our ceiling pretty much is 1 goal a game. That is what we are averaging. But
that's what we're averaging, but I don't think it's our ceiling.
That is also dragged down by Zrilla.
No. But in terms of this season, we haven't demonstrated enough. I would say that suggests that you know how many goals we got last season?
6 or 7.
22.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got 22 goals.
Ooh.
Now, realistically, from what we've seen from the whole sample, is it likely, in your guys' opinion, that we can make that jump to, let's say, doubling 22 and
because he's gone
into the 40s?
No, I actually think we can.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're getting very, very close where we could have easily had 2 or 3 goals a game. I just think something needs like a minor tweak. Griffiths needs to just tweak something, and I do genuinely think we can.
I think we're going to ship 3
scoring.
past Adelaide, to be fair.
I do think we can.
I just think this team has
We're coming very, very close.
Yeah, I think the team has the potential to make finals.
For sure.
But I think because our defense is doing a great job at platforming games as it is. I think defensively we've been one of the best teams over the past month.
Absolutely.
But I think we're relying too much on our defense and not our attack. And our attack is, I think it's my main problem is method. I'm not criticizing the players.
No, I think you're right because I think tactically we're so defensively sound, but this is to be expected because our new manager is a defensive specialist, so we can't.
Yeah.
So I think this can be easily
So that's
resolved.
why the question therefore is evolution.
Yes.
So because he will be the head coach. I don't know how long his contract is going to be.
Yeah.
Because
it just depends how long he keeps persisting. Like, maybe he's trying to implement an attacking sort of system, and clearly it's like players are trying to be too fancy. It depends if he can adapt, and he's not stubborn, and he can be like.
Who have we got as our attacking coach? So to help.
I don't know. I don't know
right.
how to.
Do we have one?
I don't know. That's why when I was saying to you boys, I was like, well, what actually do we do in training?
Yeah.
Because Manly, when Griffo was the coach before he joined Wanderers as an assistant, they weren't that great from an attacking perspective. They were around about the bottom end of the table, so to speak, for goals scored. They were great when it came to goals conceded, but in terms of goals scored, wasn't fantastic. And my frustration from the Sydney game was, you're crossing all the time. Is there not another route to goal that we have?
Well, perhaps our permanent assistant manager should be someone more attacking minded to help Griffo with as a combination.
Maybe.
And I think a big part of it is we're too slow in transition.
I agree with this.
I think because we were having this discussion, Alex, because you were saying that we were missing speed.
Seriously.
And that was that, and
That's not just physical speed. I'm talking about like
ball
transition
speed.
speed.
Yes,
ball
but
speed.
we're
speed of thought. I think we're
Speed of
missing very much so.
we're missing a lot of speed and a lot of various different forms, but it all ties into each other because you can't play quick if you can't think quick, and you can't get into the position to play quick if you can't actually
I don't think
get there
I don't think it's a player not having the ability to think thick.
No, I think it's the setup.
Think quick. I think it's the setup, because they're as I said a million times, they're trying to be too fancy.
Yeah.
I can't play the way Griffo wants me to play, so I'm going to pass this play. Oh no, it's too late now. I got to pass backwards.
I also think I will probably, I wouldn't say I'll die on this hill, but I think we're looking at this as a perspective that we played against a Sydney FC squad that was playing 4 or 5 at the back. We were playing against a team that was playing like 3 parked buses in the box. So, and we haven't encountered that yet under Griffo.
I would disagree just because Mariners...
Of course, would you?
Yeah, of course I will. Mariners, I think they were just as compact defensively, and that was the game where we saw 36 crosses.
Yes,
but that was also very
Sydney
early into Griffo's.
I know.
And Sydney are a much higher quality team.
I know that,
For
but the general principle is game state, right?
Yeah.
This is not the first time we've had a game where we're chasing goals and we've been unable to have anything that profound.
I understand, but I also just think it's not... How do I put this? It isn't... I think one of the hardest things to do is score against something like that.
I agree with
Because what
that.
are you supposed to do when you have you got 5 in like the top of the box and 5 at the back of the box?
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. If you have competent players that know how to, which is what I'm sure they have practiced, and you've seen when you watch them play.
Yeah.
That's what they do. There's not like they're just doing it because they're trying to honestly. This is what they practice. This is their mentality. This is like, it's Arteta ball. Like they just drop everyone back and just... Oh,
I think definitely our issues were accentuated by the likes of Taggart and Kaczarski coming off.
For
That's
sure.
an obvious point in itself.
Yeah.
But I also think we're suffering from a lack of variance, like with players on the ball.
Yeah.
Because you didn't like when I was giving Bozza a bit of shit about lacking a passing range. That was
doing too much.
No, not sometimes that.
Not even that. It's just him
breaking lines. I don't think we have players that can break lines and create chances frequently via their passing.
Is that not a recruitment issue?
Yes.
That is.
Yes.
I agree.
And it's
I-
not,
I-
it's not just
I- I
recruitment.
think-
I honestly think broadly recruitment.
I honestly think...
Stan.
No, 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 no.
He's in the nice corner.
So-
for us.
I genuinely think towards the end of that game,
Yep.
I honestly wouldn't have minded seeing Brandon O'Neill come on just as a sort of deep lying playmaker.
I have such a hot take for the lineup, but we'll get into that.
Sure,
Yeah.
but I honestly wouldn't have minded seeing Brandon come on there.
Yep.
Have him sit, have him be that fucking quarterback. If there's an option out wide, ping it out wide. If not, get those extra 2 men in front of them, whether it's Pennington, Bozza, Franny, whatever. Just allow them to operate in those half spaces. Try and force Sydney's back as far back as you can.
Yep.
If you get that space edge of the box, hit the shot. If not, circulate it out wide. Sure, you can go for the cross if you want. We don't have tall players, so I don't know why you would.
No.
But
I know he started, but do you think that's why whenever Pennington came on, we looked like the biggest threat and like we're creating the most amount of chances? Because I feel like he's probably
When who came on? Sorry.
when I'm talking about obviously
Newcastle
Pennington
McCarthy.
started, but like when he came on, we looked like the biggest threat because I feel like Bozanovsky, he can't make those. I love Bozanovsky, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like he can make those sort of passes.
No. But it's something that I'd love to have a chat with Stan about in the sense of our recruitment and the way that we've done our midfield. Because I think in general, Sydney they knew, well, we've got a goal, we can afford to park the bus because Glory don't have enough tools in their toolkit, so to speak, that can put us under pressure. Because even if you had Taggart and Kacharski coming on, they're still going to suffer from a lack of good service, even if it's against a deep block. Because what's Adelaide going to do on Saturday, more or less? They're going to go, sweet, park the bus.
Yeah,
I don't think they can.
Well, they might just
like they can try. But I think they'll stuff it up.
They might just flood the box and
because any
make
smart
it a bit hard
coach
for us.
would go just park the bus.
Yeah, and that's the thing because
we can't break through.
Well, we would all agree that this team has the potential to make finals.
100%.
I think this team has potential to win it all if we can stay healthy. Because I think that
Big if. Very big if.
No, that's obviously the big factor, right?
Yeah.
And I think the A-League is so similar to so many other things that we have in Australia in terms of like how the league works. Like I think it's the same with the NBL. It can somewhat be said for the AFL as well, but it depends on the team. But my point is,
it's very even.
It's even, and I genuinely think, like for example, with the Wildcats, and I have since I started supporting them around the same time as the Glory, they have always been a team that no matter where they finish on the ladder, as long as they make it to the finals, they can 100% win it. And I think we have a good enough squad.
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
But I think if we were to stay healthy, right, we've shown that we can at least compete with the top dog in the league, right? If we are to stay healthy, right, and put up our best lineup, say we come 6th and we have to play against the best team in the league away from home, I don't think it would be such like a one-sided game where we don't have a chance, right? I think with how our squad is set up, we have the ability to compete, I said this last week, with any team in the league. And that was shown through this game. Our backs were against the wall because we lost JK and tags throughout the game. We conceded early, had to play against a 10 at the back. Like, it's not like this game was simple. It was not like we had a full-strength lineup. I really do think if we stay fit, as long as we make it, we have a chance. Because I think our squad depth is good enough when fully healthy to compete with literally anybody. And if Griffo can continue to adapt his tactics like he did in Sydney, he did switch things up in order to try and make it work, then we have a shot.
There's one problem with your statement. You said when the squad's fit and healthy.
Yeah, it's a hypothetical.
It's on the pretense that everyone's
There's one
fit.
question I have to ask. There's one question I have to ask to you, Will. Do you know the Muffin Man?
Unfortunately, I do.
All right. Okay. So this is a problem. It's a bit. Someone commented. I think it might have. Yeah, I forgot who. But someone commented it somewhere.
James's burner.
No. But someone was saying it's a bit too much of a coincidence to be bad luck. For players to be going down with soft tissue injuries. You know, we saw it with. We know that players have been playing games carrying injuries leading into them, and lo and behold, they've gone down with them. And then we even saw in the Newcastle game, Lachie Wales did his hammy, got sent back out, and then did his hammy, and we still don't know what the extent of his hamstring issue is. Yeah. So it's frustrating as fuck, but I think there should be questions asked of the physio, of the medicos, because Cam Cook's done his MCL.
I thought it was ACL.
That was confirmed as MCL by Griffo in the post-game presser. So, and how he did it. So he's literally come back from a knee injury, and he's now done his MCL. I don't know how long he'll be out for.
Damn it!
But it's.
And Amos is not close.
No, well he did. Well, Griff said in his presser as well. He didn't even have a preseason. So
he was at the game in his suit.
He was,
and he was walking fine. It looked like that's about the most I got.
Well, I think he'd be training in some capacity. I don't know if it's full training or modified.
I genuinely think Luke's the perfect player for Griffo's system, which sucks. I think Luke
him and Bozanovsky, I think,
slip
and that's not a disrespect on Will Freeney, by the way.
No, of course not. But Luke's experience and his ability
it's a different dimension.
Is so insanely good for this system. It's such a shame that he's not fit because he'd thrive so much.
Were there any other?
No, we're not done with Muffin Man.
Oh, Muffin Man.
No, we're not done with that. This is genuinely a disgrace. Like I'm not kidding.
Yeah. So in case you don't know who the Muffin Man is, it's the physio.
Like
that we're referring to.
Obviously, we can only speak from what we're seeing.
Yep.
But, geez, man, like people have been crucified for less than this. And this is
Yeah.
bad. You can't have injuries every week like this and then not point a finger at someone. It's not a coincidence. These guys are elite athletes.
Yeah.
And they don't just magically get injuries like this. It's got to be because to do with the physio
And
or how they're being treated.
I don't want to hear anything about like overworking or anything like this, because you have schedules here in Australia that are half the length of the schedules that you get over in Europe.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have never seen a professional football team in Europe, the Prem, anywhere that has as many injuries as frequently as we do.
It's
and
genuinely mental.
Now, if Stan signed a 35-man squad with the knowledge that this would be our injury record, then fair dues to him. I wish you said something earlier, but it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
How many players have we had out injured this season? Let's go through them all.
Yeah, go on.
Goalkeepers, you've had Cook and Birigidi.
Yep.
Fullbacks, you had Risdon out injured.
Yep.
You had Osler out injured.
Lizalewski.
Shamoon came in injured.
Zach.
Lizalewski still out injured. Sutton is
Sutton.
out injured.
That's just
Boy,
the fullbacks.
That's just the fullbacks.
Over the period, yeah.
You
Yeah.
had Labib at the start of the season.
Yep.
When he was coming back in fresh.
Yep.
In terms of midfield, did you not have Brandon O'Neill out for a certain period of time?
No,
Did we not?
that was his baby. I think.
No, at the start of the season.
At
Was he
the
not
start
out
he
for-
was,
I think he might have, yeah.
Pennington,
Yep.
Amos,
Yep.
Despo.
Now Despo, yep.
You've got Anasmo, Taggart, Kacharski, Wales, Suleimani was injured.
Taras as well.
Taras, Gamulka.
It's a big problem, and look, I think it's up to Stan now. Because he's got parts of the football department that are actually working for once in terms of the players and the coach. But I think you're being let down by because it's beyond a coincidence, or something has to happen at this point because
It can't be.
It can't be strength and conditioning.
Can't go on
No.
like this kind of.
Well,
It has to be something. It isn't just a bad run of luck. It's gotten to the point now where it's
Because
like,
the
okay.
players
Two-thirds of
do,
the
to
squad
be fair
has
to them,
been
they do
injured
when they
in
come
this
back, they do
season.
look fit.
2/3 of the squad so
Yeah.
far this season has had an injury at some point, and we are 7 games into the season.
And how many?
2/3 of the
Yeah,
squad.
But it's like, okay, sorry, just real quick. Taggart, if he had groin issues the whole week, they should have rested him for a week. He shouldn't have been cleared to play.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but this
Same with
is
Despo
another
against
thing.
Western
It's just like
Sydney.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that's kind of frustrating me, at least during the Adam Griffiths era so far. It's been, like a month?
pretty
But
much.
A bit more than that now,
He-
actually. About
Yeah,
2
a bit
months.
more.
Yeah.
He has a lot to prove to me, at least, and to all of us Glory fans, as that he can be a man that is willing to make the hard decisions.
Yeah.
And he needs to be a
The
man.
lion.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. We give him credit, rightfully so, for changing up the style slightly against Sydney and got us back into the game
sure.
because of that.
Yep.
That was a great tactical
Well done.
change.
Yep.
He needs to be a man, and he needs to prove that he's a man that is willing to make those ballsy
Shit.
calls,
Yeah.
that is willing to make those hard decisions. Whether it's resting your starting striker, sure. Resting him for one game because you can work around it. You need to find a way to be able to work around it. You can't just run them into the ground because now you're going to risk having Taggart out for an extended period of time.
but I will say-
Kacharski should not be playing so much after coming back fresh from an injury. Same with Despo.
Yeah,
Same with
there's
plenty of other
plenty.
players
But
that
then
have been
again,
given heavy
just back to the
workloads.
Kacharski thing, we know for a fact because he told us that he was ready to play. I think it was against Newcastle, but they waited and they're extra cautious and they left him. That's strength and conditioning being good. I
Yeah.
don't think that's the problem.
But
The fact that he's
he's-
getting injured so often is clearly a physio issue.
Well,
Yeah.
it's either way, and then Will, I want to hear because you were
Yeah,
having a point
because
as well.
I have something.
But I think it's either way. It's issues with probably more than one department. Probably as a guess. Jesus, Alex. I think it's probably there's questions has to be asked of the physio because he's been here for a few years. He's been here since Stage.
Yes.
And we've got a new strength and conditioning from the UK. I'm not sure if there's any other changes with our
Yeah.
medical department.
I'm not sure it's a strength and conditioning thing, but because the problem I'm having
I can't
here-
say because I don't know for sure.
None of us can, right?
Yeah.
But here's the problem I have. I don't know if this is Griffo's fault because we don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
No, we don't.
But if the physio, right, is doing his job and, well, okay, if it is, it doesn't really matter, but if he's feeding and telling Griffo, yep, this player's good to go, he's been treated, should
Yep.
be right, and
Yep.
he's working with a strength conditioning guy, and they're both saying to Griffo, yep, he's good, play him. It's not Griffo's fault.
Yeah,
Like,
he's going to rely on the advice of
yeah,
his,
and
of
if,
his
they,
team.
if
yeah.
they're advising him they're all good to play, off
That
you
was
go.
the-
But that should be even more of an indication that, okay, these guys clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I mean,
because they've given me the
him
all good, and
clearing
he's just gone
Wales
and
was
gone,
what
"No,
showed it for me.
That was the big thing because we all saw him pull up and
Yep.
and the physio went,
Yeah, and then he wasn't.
and then does his hamstring.
How many players went down, by the way, against Sydney, and then have to get him?
Bozza went, but was it cramps?
No, Bozza got corked, I think.
Yeah,
Bozza got corked.
but didn't Brian also go down at one point and start going like a bit like this? And
Yeah.
then
Probably, but
back
it's
up?
I mean, because look, we probably do have
This is another thing, by the way. Sorry, let me just cut you off
Yeah,
again.
yeah, right.
Good.
I said this.
Yeah.
You need to have a proper centre back on the bench. I understand Riley Fox. Riley Fox has actually made some really good cameos. But if Caltac goes down and you don't have Labib there to sub in for Caltac,
Yep.
we are fucked.
Yeah.
We are finished.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is Labib not on the bench in case of an injury?
Well,
a good question.
You just have to wonder if this is a part of the. Oh, look, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you'd have to imagine the January window is going to be a
cull of
cut.
some
There's going to
sort.
be a cull.
There's gonna
and maybe,
It has to be.
Maybe he's a part of the cull.
I really
It'd be
hope. I
shit if he
really
was.
hope he's not
Yeah.
because he is genuinely. I honestly.
I mean, I
think
don't understand how a player can last season be close to signing for Red Bull
Salzburg.
to mutual term.
No, it wouldn't. It could not be based on performance. It would have to be a disagreement or something. It would have to be something personal. You know what I mean? Like it would have to be based on attitude.
yeah.
Or
That's
something.
that's if it gets to that. But
No, but it's like,
I know what you
that's
mean.
the
I know.
only-
But how can he not even make the
Yeah, of
squad?
course.
It cannot be because of
Well,
performance.
it's a question either way because Andriano's an exceptionally
And he's
talented
not
player.
injured.
But the thing is, it's just I don't understand a lot of these things from Griffo. Like, is he picking his own bench here? Is he picking because the starting
He'd have to
11,
be.
the starting 11, I have no issue with
Yep.
at all because he picks the starting 11 that he knows he can get something out of, and I think he's done that in every single game.
Yeah.
The only complaint I have is that the bench changes drastically every single game, and we haven't seen the likes of Labib,
But even beforehand, we had the bench stay exactly the same as it was MacArthur and Western Sydney.
yeah.
Didn't change.
I
Even with the
understand
starting
that.
11.
I understand that. But then before
Yeah,
that, you had a massive shift to change the bench. Then we had the same bench for the game after.
Experimenting.
I understand that, but you had a massive change in the bench. Then it was the same for the next game, and then another massive change to
Yeah.
what we just had.
Yeah.
And my question is,
Look, there's obviously things going on.
you've had this big shift around in benches, and you still have players that you haven't tried out, even though there was perfect opportunities to try them. Gabriel Popovich made 2 straight benches. One of those was the game against MacArthur, where we were winning 2-0 for, what was it, like 5-10 minutes?
Yeah.
About that, yeah.
We could have just given Gabby 10 minutes and just see, okay, go for your life. Let's see what he can do. Let's try playing to a taller striker. Let's whip in some balls and see if we can make something happen there because we know we're going to have to do that at some point this season.
Don't worry, don't worry, LeBron.
No, but like,
Gabby Popovich.
but seriously, if we have such a deep, extensive squad and we want to try things out, then try the players out. I don't understand why we're seeing players like Majex, who hasn't even been in and around the squad this season. We have Gabriel Popovich has made more benches than Caleb Majeck.
I just think it's bad luck.
I don't. But
for the players to not be selected because I think it's like for this game we had.
I don't know if it's bad luck or bad decision making, James. I
well-
think it's bad decision making. It has to be because.
Lads, we've lost one game. We've already got.
And
I understand that. But this is a
even
problem that
back
we've
to
been
the
saying
start
for
of
a
the
month now, is
season,
that the
I
benches haven't been
don't. When
good.
we had all those midfield injuries at the start of the season, how did Gamulka not even make the bench?
Because he mustn't be favoured. I mean, it's like I think Stan would be. He would have to.
Bagaria either.
Stan would have to be the first to put his hand up and say, "I've got some shit wrong." He'd be because we all spoke to him at the end. We know how he is. He would have put his hand up and he said, he's got some shit wrong.
For sure.
Either way, we've got a 34, 35 player squad. It's got to come down. The players that are playing predominantly deserve to start, as far as I'm concerned. Like the
I
team.
have no issue with the starting 11.
But just in terms of the bench, it's like, I don't know. I think there's only so much that he could have done. I think I agree. Labib probably could have been someone that would have been handy to have had on the bench. But then it's like, why would you drop out Riley Fox? Would you not?
I wouldn't drop out Riley Fox, but I would say to that.
It's going to be bad luck if he gets dropped out.
Exactly, but I would say to that point, you have Andriano Labib, a player who last season, towards the back end of the season, was
very
a
good.
phenomenal performer. Attract heaps of European interest before his injury.
Good
Riley
player.
Fox has had some really good cameos, but he hasn't made a single appearance in which he's played more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Labib is someone I'd be comfortable starting. I don't know if I can say that about Riley yet. And to be fair, that's because he hasn't been tested.
Of course,
That's because he hasn't been
course.
tested. I want Riley to get his opportunity, but my problem is if we're gonna have this whole point of we'll mix it around and give everyone their opportunity. Why is it the same people getting the same opportunities and other people that are probably also deserving of these opportunities not being given a chance?
Well, I think
Bulgaria. I'm not saying the likes of Bulgaria. listen. Bulgaria, Gomulka, Gomulka, Labib,
Okay, we can all count.
They're all fair points.
Shut up,
Just-
shut up, James.
Shut up, Josh.
Shut up, Josh.
All I'm saying.
Kazamba.
No, okay. It's all fair, but look, let's save it for when we discuss the lineup against Adelaide. Because
Yeah.
were there any final thoughts on the Sydney game itself?
No.
No.
I think we've said everything we need
Look,
to say.
I think you said enough. But like,
Okay,
look, I genuinely think it was a spirited performance. Perhaps not.
we
the
gave
best,
it a go.
Not the best attacking game, but again, let's not act like it was like Sydney weren't.
We have come a
Taking it
long
incredibly
way at
difficult.
the very
Stop
least. We have come a long way. At the very
No,
least.
I'm much
Yeah.
happier to sit here talking about a narrow 1-0 loss where it could have gone either way if we just had that goal not ruled out and we didn't lose Tags and JK.
Yep.
Nothing went our way that game.
'Cause
Absolutely
I
nothing.
think the best question was what Griffo said at the end of the game was he said, how do we create more goal scoring moments that are clear cut? That is the perfect
I
question.
think he was genuinely asking a question.
Either way, it's the perfect question.
Anyone?
Yeah.
And
Any ideas?
Hello, is my mic muted?
he's gonna have that hopefully on permanent market on the whiteboard when they train. Alex,
I have faith in it. I have
Got a
faith in it.
suggestions Dropbox in the player changing room.
boys, how do we do
What
it?
we think?
Wiki
Any
help.
ideas?
Yeah. Just on the Sydney game, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't think there's anything else we need to add. I just think that we weren't set up to chase that game. I don't think we had the right players on the bench for it.
I
I
agree.
don't think that luck went our way with the injuries. Sure.
Yep.
I think we should have taken the chances that we did have better, and I think we should have taken more risks. But
Agreed.
that's
I know he had a good game as well. I just want to bring up, I feel like we're playing Kaczarski the wrong sort of way. I don't know if you guys agree.
How would you change
how do
it?
you
I don't know if he's like,
I don't think he's not a winger by trade.
he's not a winger, no.
Yeah.
I just,
So you reckon more of like a double striker with Lawrence behind them as
yes,
a 10?
I feel like they need to play Lawrence like deeper because I don't think you can play,
like what they did in the second half.
yeah, what they did in the second half.
Okay. Interesting.
And I feel
so
like
what would you play? Would you have wingers or would
Well,
you have
that's the
fullbacks
problem.
overlapping with Sutton and
The problem is the lack of players we have currently that
fit and
fit. Yeah.
able to fit the system. I get your point though. I think JK would thrive much more. I mean, he's seen more lively after Tags went down.
Yep.
And he
Yeah.
got put in that striker position. He was much more active.
Well, he
in
had a
the-
shot in like the first minute of the second
Yeah,
half. didn't
exactly.
he?
So
Yeah.
I think that's something to definitely consider.
But then again, you can't bench Tags and then you can't bench
you'd have to play
Kaczarski
both.
because
Yeah.
Kaczarski came here. The whole point was to get more game times.
You could almost play.
And I feel like that would help
Look, it would-
Tags out more.
If we did have
Yeah.
if we did have to fit them both in the same system, it would most likely be Tags up top, Lawrence in behind, and then Kaczarski tucking in off of the left so that Sutton can overlap. That would most likely be what it is.
For sure.
Unfortunately, we've also seen Kaczarski's shots this season when cutting in off that left wing. But I'm sure he's going to get one eventually.
I'd rather he's off the right because I think he's.
I would-
he's
Who,
got
who
more-
would you put off the left?
Pennington.
Can we save it for the Adelaide game?
We can absolutely say that.
Because I want to jump into the post-match player ratings.
Okay.
About time because
Let's do that.
going on for about an hour and 14.
All right.
So Matt Sutton, you guys gave him a 6.9. We gave him a 7. Josh Risdon, you guys gave him a 5.4.
Terrible.
We gave him a 4.4. Brian Kaltak, you guys gave him a 6.9. We gave him a 6.4. Scott Wooden, you guys gave him a 6.6. We gave him a 7.8. Shabelle
Okay.
Shamoon.
We need to.
I feel like there's a little bit of bias there.
There's no favoritism. Well,
There's-
at least not in my ratings. There's no favoritism.
I thought Woods had a perfect game.
Yeah,
Other than I genuinely think he didn't make a single
he had
mistake.
a really good game.
Woods is a ledge, so that's why I
Okay.
gave him an 8.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, there's
James.
the bias.
There
But
we go.
yeah. I
James,
genuinely think-
you
like,
have
I know
with
that
that statement, you have lowered the legitimacy of this
Yeah.
podcast.
Look, I just want
Everyone's
to say,
gonna think
like,
we're a joke.
besides that first goal, which I don't blame him for, everything else he did throughout that game, I did not
Yeah,
see him make one
he-
mistake. Caltech had a couple
kept
of like,
pushing.
yeah, he didn't genuinely.
stop.
He was fantastic.
Somehow Polar Bear in Arlington, Texas found himself in the top of the box, whipping in that cross for Tom Lawrence. That was
Yeah.
arguably one of our best chances of the
For
second
sure.
half. So
I mean, if we won or drew, I give him an 8. But
Look,
You know what's funny?
Caltac just really upset me with that one that he should have headed back across the box. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Brian.
But you know what? I forgot to mention this.
Mhm.
Pat Wood Hate Watch was kind of cool.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Because he should have scored
that
that.
1v1 at
Yeah.
the end. That he went, yes.
Yeah.
Was Sutton kind of giggling to himself when he made that save and was kind of
I
running
think
out? It's
so
like,
because
fucking
I'm
saved it again.
oh, this guy's so ass.
Oh.
bro, he kind of looks like Sean Strickland,
He looks nothing
He
like.
kind of
Yes,
looks
he
like a
does.
bum, is what he looks
Yes, he
like.
does.
Nothing like Short
Shabelle Shamoon, you guys gave him a 6.4. We gave him a 5.6.
Yeah, bro, shoot. I love you, bro, but you're in the 6-yard
Shoot
box.
fucking
Just smack
Charbel, bro,
it.
you're so handsome.
Shoot
but shoot the
fucking-
fucking
I
ball,
love you
please,
so much,
honestly.
but
The
that was
barber
our
needs
best
to
chance
shoot.
in the
He
half,
needs
and
to
you
shoot.
just had to.
Charbel, bro.
Reece Bozanovsky, you guys gave him a 7.3. We gave him a 7.6. Will Freeney, stop checking your sofa score and foot mob stats.
Why not?
That's
Why?
a bit hard.
Why?
I'm joking. It's good fun. You guys gave him a 7.1. We gave him a 6.6. Nick Pennington,
I
you
don't
guys gave him a 5.7. We gave him a 6.3.
5.7 for Penno.
That's
What?
not on. That's not on.
Probably because he was ineffective.
Nah, he gets a 10 for going and shoving the player.
That's fine.
I walked up to him after the game and I said, "Well done, mate." Like, thank
No,
you.
you went up to him and said, "I will die for you, Penno."
No, I said, "Well done for shoving him, mate. I'll die for you." And he went, "Cheers, mate." Like, yeah, for like, yeah. I didn't say I'll die for him. I said,
like,
"I'll
what
run
the
through
fuck
a
is
wall
this
for
guy?
you."
Yeah, I'll run for a wall.
I said I would run through a wall for you,
Pennington.
Penno. After you did that, it's
boy.
fantastic. And he went, "Thank you,
Thank you, mate.
Thank you, mate." And then Tommy just went,
Why are you saying it with that kind of accent?
He's Italian.
"He's Italian. That's how he talks."
No, he's
talks
not
like
that.
that.
He's not that strong accent.
No, he really
does.
is.
I
He
don't
genuinely.
think
Have
he
you not heard him talk before?
I don't think you've heard
not
him
for an
talk.
extended period of
No,
time.
There you
dude,
go.
he's got a
It's-
full-on
it's
Italian
full-
accent.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Adam Taggart, you guys gave him a 4.5. We gave him a 5.
It's like the Kante. Fuck you.
Tom Lawrence, you guys gave him a 6.3. We gave him a 6.5. Jaden Kaczarski, you guys gave him a 5.6. We gave him a 5.
Hold on a minute. Who ranked him that low?
With what?
5?
By the way, James is smiling. I've got a feeling
What did
it was him.
James? What did you give him?
James is the. By the way,
James
can
doesn't
we
post his in the
can we-
group
Can we
chat, by
preface
the
this at
way.
home? Can we preface
Yeah.
this? Can we
Hold on a
for
minute.
people at home, can we just preface this before we do these episodes? Right.
Yeah.
James will send out a message in the group chat,
yeah.
and it will say, "Send in
Give me
your
your
player
ratings."
votes for
Yes.
these players, your ratings." We all have to send them in. He doesn't send his in.
We
so
all
we know each
gave
other's.
him a 5.
Okay.
I
just don't trust you.
Did I not give him a
Did I-
6?
did I not
No.
give him a six?
Swear
You
I gave him a
all
6.
gave him a 5.
Seriously?
Yes.
I think I gave.
I-
you
my apologies.
all-
I
you
believe I thought-
gave him a 5.
Okay, well, I changed my. I
Stats
thought
don't lie.
they do, but I thought.
absolutely do.
But
Well,
they do, because
that's
we're sending you our
apologies.
stats, so
Well,
you
they-
might change them.
My apologies.
well,
I thought I gave him a 6,
I'm
but
very
also
reasonable.
you're a hater, so I'm not surprised. So
All right.
I'm still. Shut up, James.
Arion Soleimani. Yeah, this one was.
Look,
yeah.
James has just been
So-
secretly giving Wooten a 10 every game.
Fuck off.
Talk about Bozza's my boyfriend. Look at you, mate. Fucking hell.
What did he? No, what was he like?
I'm
No,
such a good
before
bloke.
he was walking in, he was like,
such a good bloke.
No, this guy. We're out by the bus, and this guy. Woods is just talking with Tom.
We're
right?
just having a conversation with the
dragging
fucking
my
And
over.
James just goes, Woods! And he goes,
No. And what's best is that
Beforehand.
3 times before that, Woods is just either
He was- yeah.
doing his own shit, just like talking to someone else, and you look over and James will be like, "Hey, hey,
Yeah,
hi."
I was-
He won't even say hi. He'll just go,
because he
Yeah, he like you can
get
see him
calling him
trying
over.
to. You can see him try to avoid us. He's like, "Oh, these
Yeah.
boys again. I just want to get home."
should-
The
you
first
should-
one
no.
was so funny
You should've-
because Woods is just
No,
walking
when he's
down.
walking,
He's walking down
away.
from the stairs.
No,
Oh, sorry.
he's walking into like the change.
Yeah,
room
he's
or
walking into
something.
the
Yeah.
change room. He goes past the bus. He locks eyes
He
with James.
does
James
see-
goes like this,
Yeah.
and he just turns and walks.
No, he was no.
Hey Woods, bro, we love you, but that
He's-
shit was
he's
so
funny
funny,
as fuck.
man. That
He's a
shit was
funny guy.
fucking
He's
hilarious.
funny. No, because
Please continue humbling James like this, bro. He deserves it.
he humbled me bad last week, bro. Fuck.
He dog walked you, bro. I can't.
So
lie.
What did you do last week?
James is
he
talking
was like,
shit.
because
fucking-
he was like, I told you so, you dickhead. So.
Oh, that's right. No,
Yeah.
this
so
is true. Yes.
Arion Soleimani. Yeah. So if he gets a chance against Adelaide, mate, I hope
Let's skip him.
I hope he kicks ass. But yeah,
What did he
you
get?
guys gave him a 4.3. We gave him a 3.3. Kwa Ingo. You guys gave him a 6.3.
Okay.
We gave him a 5.9.
What did you boys rate him?
5. Yeah, that's about right.
I think I gave him a 6.
I gave him a 6.
Josh, you gave him a 6. Will, you gave him a 5.5.
Okay, yes.
Liar.
I
Okay.
gave him a 6, and Alex gave him a 6.
Okay, so how does that equal 5.9?
Because like 6, 6,
7, sorry.
like 6.
No, that the maths ain't mathing on that one. How we
James
got
Renton
3
is
ranked?
lying.
We got 2 6s and a 7.
No,
and
because
a
it
5.5.
rounds up. It
3
rounds up.
6s. 3 6s.
3 6s and then a 5.
I thought it was a 7.
The
No.
average. The average comes to like I
Oh.
think it's like 5.8.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Okay, we're going off
Alright,
topic. Next,
okay.
next.
My fault,
Okay,
my fault.
Sam
Like 6,
Sutton.
7?
You guys gave him a 5.4. Jeez, that's stiff.
What are you guys
And
doing?
and we gave him a
We
6.1.
have the dumbest viewers in the world.
They have to be
These
pretty
guys suck.
they have to be dumb to listen to us. Yeah, we gave him a 6.1.
What did Matty get?
Hi,
What did Matty get?
Sutton.
Yeah.
We gave him a 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I couldn't
And then Adam Griffiths, you guys gave him a 6.8. We gave him a 6.5.
yeah. I mean,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
we can't really give him. You can't really give the players above anything more than like a 7.5 or an 8 because after a loss. But
Yeah.
I think did really put in a good shift.
It
Like-
was a loss, but it was a good loss.
Bozanovsky
Yeah.
was the man of the
yeah.
match.
Woods and Bozza put in a good shift. It's just
Freeney
such
as
a
well.
shame.
I thought he was everywhere. I think he did a good job.
I honestly
did.
would have given a 3-way tie for man of the match between Woods, Bozza, and Freeney.
Well,
Yeah.
that's popular, isn't it? Well done, mate.
No,
Just name the
but
3 players we talked about.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
cheers.
A 3-way tie.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them did.
So
Better than
because
the
you
other.
said those 3 man of the match, you hate everyone else in the squad.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Adelaide.
thought Lawrence was a bit unappreciated, to be honest.
I think because there was no real form of progression. I hated how deep he was coming because I'd rather he be
hated
higher up the pitch so that he can be more damaging and not be having to drop
damages
all the
me.
way.
But that wasn't his fault.
No, I'm saying it's a product, and
No,
again,
I'm
it's a
saying
product
it's
of
all
the
his
system.
fault.
I was cracked. So Adelaide,
I cracked Tom Lawrence.
we are so fucked. Right, Adelaide.
So is Tom Lawrence.
Adelaide, Saturday, HBF
Match
Park,
predictions.
6:45. Hopefully it won't be hot as fuck
But Tom Lawrence is.
because that was ridiculously hot. I think it was about.
So is Tom Lawrence.
Set it up. So, can we get some thoughts for the Adelaide game?
3-1 prediction.
3-1 prediction.
Straight out.
3-1 prediction.
3-1 prediction. Which way, lads?
We win 3-1.
Cold. All right.
Just some thoughts on Adelaide.
Oh, they're not very good, are they?
They lost Bart. Is there any update on Bart Freens?
I think he's injured.
Thanks, mate, but for how long? How long?
What you gonna do, brother?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, we know you're the stats man.
Why,
James, look it up.
No,
Oh, sorry, mate. I'm not
I
Bart
don't,
Freens.
I don't want to.
Oh, mate. Oh, mate, don't say that. Because that irritates me. And I've punched blokes in the mouth for saying that.
Okay, so
Shamoon, when he hears that we said he should have taken a shot. Oh, mate.
so, yeah. Any thoughts?
Far out.
So Josh has just gone 3-1.
Thank you very much.
Are there,
3-1.
do you have any thoughts on Adelaide or no?
I think they're shit, mate. That's
going
my
to
only
get clipped
thoughts.
when we eventually lose, but anyway.
Yeah, no.
I want to meet Big Red.
Hang on. They did put. I mean, I know the posters do lie a lot. But Goodwin was on the poster, so I assume he's not injured, is he?
No, he played against Melbourne Victory, so he'll be there.
Okay. I just don't think even with Adelaide's they've always even still been like they're leaking a lot of goals, but they score, but they haven't really been scoring more than they're letting
leaking
in.
it.
No, they've been pretty shit the last
So
few
even
weeks.
now, even without their experience in the back, I genuinely think we can capitalise on that.
Yeah.
Alex?
Look. 3-1 prediction, personally. Hold on, I think Adelaide are going to get a huge upset win. So now we're going to clip that if they actually do get an upset win, and I'm going to look like a genius. I think that we will win this. You know what?
Oh,
If we had Tags and Kaczarski, I would genuinely back us to score like 3 or 4.
yeah, of course I would, but we don't.
Yes.
Yeah,
and for
cheers.
that reason, I think we're going to win 1-0. 1-0.
What?
1-0.
1-0.
I know they have a makeshift back 4 in terms of their centre back pairing, but we also do have a makeshift front line. And we'll get into what our preferred lineups are, but
Yeah.
it's not looking great, Rev.
So you think we'll keep another clean sheet?
Yes.
I think we're more likely to keep a clean sheet than
I
score
feel
more
like-
than 2.
Yeah.
No, but they're probably out of all. Oh, actually, Mariners was pretty.
I do think they're a good attacking side. I just think that we have the right players to be able to deal with their attacking output, as long as we make the right choice at right back.
Okay. Will?
1-1.
Oh, you fucker.
No? Okay.
I can see Adelaide scoring because they're.
I can see them scoring. But
Yeah, I don't see us doing well because we're gonna have. It's
Can you let him continue, please? Shut the fuck up. Let him continue.
I don't see us gelling very well on attack. I get we have Tommy, but like
It's going to be Tom and Inshallah.
basically
Unless someone would like to step up.
unless someone would like to step up, and people need to be playing their positions. Like if we're going to play Soleimani again, put him at striker. Don't put him on the wing, right?
Yeah, what the hell?
If you're going to play, or if you want to play Tommy at striker, maybe
That was almost like a Driller decision, chucking him in.
I
I
think-
think Albanian, but don't put him on the right wing.
I think we're going to have to play narrow. Personally, with,
Yeah.
with the options we have, we're going to have to play like a 3-man midfield, I think, and then have like a 10 of Tommy with like a solo striker.
Yeah.
I think with Tommy coming in behind and maybe Pano and Boz are pushing up, and then you have a holding midfielder at the back. I think that's going to have to be the style of play.
Osler's back right now.
Yes.
There's only one.
Yes.
I reckon we're going to see Osler back in attack.
Probably, but I also
Attack.
yeah.
I think we'll see him in the wing.
But I think that's the style we should be playing, especially against Adelaide, where the more we put pressure on their centre back pairing through the middle, the more success we're going to have, because they're not very. There's like Alex said, they're a makeshift defensive pairing. I think we have so much quality in the midfield and our defense. It would be a shame to not utilize that with all the injuries we have.
Yeah.
So I would really like to see a 1 striker, Lawrence 10, and then 3-man midfield, like
Alright.
some more of a narrow approach.
Okay, just real quick. I know this is
Was that-
dumb, but I might cook. Can we play Sutton on the wing?
Yes, we can.
We
could. Also,
could. Am I
cooking?
Which one?
Because I feel like
Which one?
no,
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
but I feel like with our little experienced options, because in attack the other day he looked like quite threatening.
I have a really woke idea for my starting 11.
Of course you do.
I know.
3-back, isn't it?
No, that's gone.
It's going to be a 2-back.
So I would
Invert Trent Osler.
no. So only change I'd make would be Are you listening?
I'm sorry, James.
No.
Please
tell
me
I would go with the same back four, but with Sutton coming in, and so Shamin at right back, Sutton at left back, same centre backs. Now this is where I change things. I'm going to cop a bit of shit for this. So midfield 3, flat midfield 3.
Yes, as I said.
Le
Yes.
bit.
Brandon O'Neill holding
Okay.
with
Awful.
Freeney and Bozanovsky ahead.
If it's a flat
Yeah, that's
3.
fine.
Hold on. Wait.
Perfect.
Wait.
And then the front
Wait.
3,
Here we go.
Crichton go off the right,
Uh-huh.
Tom Lawrence off the left, Nat Blair as the striker.
No Pennington.
No Pennington. No Pennington, because I would the way that I would have my midfield is that I think that Freeney and Freeney and Bozanovsky, particularly if we lose the ball, because I want to see the fullbacks get pushed up.
Shut up, James.
There's not enough speed there for me in that front line.
Well, that's why I'm wanting it to be a bit more technical with Lawrence and Quah, and then you can have Sutton and Shamoon holding the width. And then if worse comes to worse, you've got midfielders that can deal with a potential transition.
I can't lie, James. The thought of that as our attack makes me want to pull my hair out.
Well, what would you like to do
James,
with your
I can't-
lineup?
James,
I just
can't
told you.
lie.
You play Sutton, Lawrence.
James, I can't lie. I
Quah.
think you need to just shut up.
I don't think.
No,
playing
could that
on-
actually work though? Sutton, Lawrence, and Quah. I feel like that could work.
What do you mean?
I think if we're going to be playing Lawrence
As a top
anywhere
3.
in a wing formation, it needs to be the centre.
Yeah.
He's not got the pace to attack the wingers against Adelaide.
not Diego
I anticipate.
Castro. He is not fucking Diego Castro, James. Stop this.
I anticipate
What do
that
you
we're going to have
anticipate?
lots of the ball.
I agree with you, but Adelaide's weakness is through the middle.
Yeah.
So we need to attack more of
And
the
I'd-
middle. I
and
don't
I'd-
want Lawrence cutting in on the left or right side. I want him going straight up the middle.
Where does Lawrence tend to what side of the pitch does Lawrence tend to gravitate towards? The left-hand side.
Well, yeah.
Yes, so
Yeah,
he can
so-
cut inside. James.
Yeah, so
Shocker.
that's why I'd have him as an inside player off the left, and then
Right.
having Sutton do all the dog work up and down.
But I just feel like you're missing.
I'd have him there.
I'd rather a 2-striker form, like
Have
even
him there.
behind a solo striker with the 3 midfielders behind. Just works so much more effectively against. This isn't. I'm not saying this works against every team in the league. I'm saying
Yeah.
specifically Adelaide, who are dog shit at defending.
Yeah.
You need to put as much pressure through the middle as you can.
But we don't
And cutting it off
we don't play through the middle.
I know, but I'm saying we don't have much of a. We can't have a strong front 3 right now. So we're going to have to adapt.
But the way that we attack, the best option for us is to go down those wide positions. Yeah. So I can't.
But are they now that we've lost Tags and Kaczarski? Are you telling me that you would rather have Nat
That's
Blair
why I think
at
that's-
striker
but-
in a
Yeah,
wing formation rather than playing through the middle?
This is what I think the fullbacks, if we go with Sutton and Shamoon, they're going to be our most important attacking weapons. because I think having those two at fullback changed the game.
So then,
I would have them played as high as
that's right. So then at that point, why would you even bother with wingers if you're going to play them in overlap?
Because I'm having them come inside.
Yeah, but have two
So that you almost have like
instead.
Have
Lawrence press up
because I want to have
Freeney.
Brano in there deeper so
that's
that
fine.
he can look to ping balls about.
So let Bozza push up, have Freeney and Brano hold back, have your two fullbacks push up, and have Lawrence and Blair through the middle.
Why don't we play Freeney on the wing?
What was
Nah.
that, James?
What?
Just.
Because you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if we put Lawrence on the left, we're genuinely harming. We're playing into Adelaide's hands if we put our best attacking player not in the middle.
I disagree.
I agree. Well, I think, but not more that I think Lawrence is better through the middle.
That can still because look, the wingers can still change. It can still be a fluid attack. I think this would be a game also for Nat Blair to try and be a bit aggressive because what's their centre back partnership going to be, more or less? Adelaide.
Like,
okay, but what?
Most likely.
He's played there before. Why don't we play Freeney on the left, Quire on the right, Lawrence through the middle, and then you play Pennington as your 8?
that's a lot of penning kilos.
Because Freeney's played as a.
He has, and I was going
winger
to mention
before.
this when I made my.
So I feel like that's just our best option.
I'd rather him play inside.
Well, let's hear your starting lineup before we.
Okay.
I didn't.
I already did give it, to be fair. I
Did you?
already said, I think I said Bozza and Brano and Freeney in the 3. Sharmoon and Sutton. And then we've got Tommy kind of like pushing up further forward with Nat Blair in behind as well. And then also you could even go like, you'd even play like a 4-5-1, right? And I know this is purely me talking from a tactics point of view, not through a realistic point of view, right? Because I don't know what we're going to do because we haven't been here before. We haven't been at a place with Griffo.
Well,
where
now's a good time to experiment.
Huh?
Now's a good time to
That's
experiment.
my point. So we could literally see anything. We could even see a 3-back when you got, so we got 3 centre backs, and we've got Sharmoon and Sutton as our wingers, and then we've got the 2-man midfielders, 2 holding midfielders, and we got Nat Blair and Lawrence up top with I don't even know, maybe Freeney as our 10. Like there are so many things that could happen here, and I don't mind. Or Bozza as our 10 with Lawrence and Blair up top. Like we could see that because then you go Labib, Caltech, and Wooten at the back. Because that's a solid way. It's like, and it kind of turns into a 5-back because Adelaide's only strength is attacking. But then you can really bombard their defence with the 2 fullbacks coming in, whipping those balls in for Lawrence and Blair to get on the end of, and Bozza through the middle to play those passes. I think that would be very effective. But that's purely talking from a tactical point of view, not through a realistic point of view.
And also, I don't think Sutton's going to start, by the way.
Why is that?
I don't think he's fit.
He seemed okay.
Yeah, but like
fine to me.
Yeah.
That was for a small cameo. Like
A small cameo where he was up and down like a motherfucker.
And he's got another whole week of conditioning and training to go through. I think he will start because we're in a bit of a crisis right now. We kind of has to.
I think for our attack he needs to start.
Without him, we could be cooked. Because I love you, Charbel, and this isn't your fault, but I'm kind of over Charbel Shaman on his weak foot. Like for
let him go on his right.
Let him have his right foot, please.
Alex,
I honestly, it was hard to think of a lineup because either way I look at it, it's kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually kind of back Will's idea of the 3-back though. I do understand that purely because
transition.
Yes, but also you have so many good defenders that would perfectly fit a quick transition 5-back. Labib and Caltech have fucking pace for years. Sutton will get forward. Sharmoon will get forward. Yep. They can add something to that attack. You have those sort of... We have midfielders in the squad that maybe, don't have the best passing range in the league, but have good enough energy to be able to make it work.
I'd be concerned about how we press, though.
I would be concerned as well, which is why I don't think we will go for a 5-back.
Yeah.
But on paper, it looks all right.
I think the idea
sounds
better than probably
what tactically it makes sense in terms of pure idea, but in terms of execution, I'm not sure.
No. It won't work in execution. I honestly think our best lineup with this 4-4-2/4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
I would prefer the 4-2-3-1. Keep Lawrence a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Matt Sutton in goal. Right back, I would genuinely consider starting Labib. Purely.
Trent. Sure. He's been doing a good job
right
this season,
back?
for sure. He's been doing a good job this season.
He's
I mean,
if Sutton
isn't playing, yes. But if Sutton is playing,
then obviously it's Sutton.
Then it's Sutton and Shaman.
There's no question.
I want to see Labib in the squad. I want to see Labib in the squad.
On the bench at least.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
in the case that Sutton is fully fit.
Yep.
Sutton left back, Shamoon right back.
Yep.
2 centre backs, Kautak Wooten.
Yep.
Of course.
2 CDMs. I was actually really, really fucking close to saying slap Brandon O'Neill in that double pivot. However, I take issue with the fact that he hasn't played in nearly a month. I do take issue with that.
That's fair.
And the fact that this Franey and Bozanovsky double pivot to date has not had a bad game.
Yeah, but
Has not had a bad game.
with O'Neill, you got to remember, think of how much game time he got last season, and then he's come in and done well.
That is fair, but at the same time, I would at least like to see him make an appearance off the bench before he displaces one of the players in our double pivot. That's probably been one of the best double pivots in the league since.
Can I ask a
Griffo
question?
came
As you are Bozanovsky's number 1 fan,
Yes.
do you think that maybe if we're going to experiment, that maybe it would be an interesting idea to put Bozza in a more of an attacking midfield role?
No,
As in play 3-man midfield with Brandon as the holding.
I don't know how you would do it. I'm not saying specifically how you would do it, but I'm saying I feel like Bozza has so much technical ability and
but he can't make the passes. That's
No,
the
he
problem.
definitely can.
He can.
He absolutely can.
Depends what kind of passes.
Yeah.
Because
I'm talking those passes in behind, like not long range passes, but those short ones. Like he's very good on the ball.
Why not play him though as like an advanced eight?
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
To entertain you, I will say this. That can work if you then do this. If you change your double pivot from Freeney and Bozza to Brandon O'Neill and Bozza, I think you can then make it work if you then play Freeney off of the right, tucking inside. If you then play either Qua or Peddington, I would genuinely give Qua a go here because I don't know how good this Adelaide backline is going to be, and I think he can do some damage to Piraeus.
Yep.
Purely for that. Lawrence at 10. Striker, I think you go with Blair just because it's going to be a makeshift double pairing. I think Blair will cause more issues than Suleimani, even though I actually prefer Suleimani as a striker compared to Blair. I just think for the pure chaos of it, I think Blair.
I feel like Blair's very chaotic as a striker.
No.
There's a lot of ping pongs going on when he's up.
No.
front.
100%. That's why I'm saying start Blair because
of course you are.
Blair is the more chaotic forward. Therefore, I would rather start him over Suleimani. But
I see what you're saying.
in terms of an actual striker, I prefer Suleimani.
Yeah,
He's a bit more technically sound for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I
If this was a game where we were going to be like focusing on possession and popping it around and stuff like that, sure, start Suleimani over Blair.
Sure.
But I don't know if we're going to be doing that because it's a makeshift.
I think for Adelaide, Blair's got to be.
I'll just be intrigued to see how Griff looks to go about it. But either way, I think we just need to take a few more risks when we have possession and look to try and just go at Adelaide. But I think either way, if you have both Lawrence and Qua starting, look, because Lawrence can start as a 10, you can have Qua and then maybe...
As long as Lawrence is on the pitch, I don't care.
Yeah. But I think Qua deserves a go. See what he can do starting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Blair, I think he should be given a go.
Give that man a full 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then see what you can do from there.
Josh?
I mean, I want to see Lawrence starting because if we lose Lawrence...
Yeah.
we're
Jeez,
cooked.
man.
What I know was like interesting. Sorry, I was just thinking about something when you brought that up. Like, surprisingly, out of all the players that are like injured, Lawrence isn't, and he's the one that everyone had doubts about in terms of like fitness.
Don't jinx it, lad.
No, I don't want to jinx it.
Fuck.
I don't want to jinx it, but like, I find a lot of players, like especially overseas, they come in to Perth Glory, their first season, they're smashing it, they're fit, and then their second season, they struggle. I don't want to jinx it, right? But like Amos...
I don't know if we're going to get a second season of Lawrence, to be fair. He's on a one-year deal, isn't he?
Yes.
So we might not even get a second season.
We'll see.
We'll see. To be fair, I only think he's on a 1-year deal because we're not sure how we're going to deal with the salary cap. We don't even know if it's going to be the $3 million hard cap at this stage because the PFA is still trying to extend it.
Still
That's a null point for now. But I get what you're saying, Josh. And like Luke was the same. I think the only one we didn't have that was probably Diego.
Yeah.
He stayed fairly fit.
Just because I'm conscious of time, are there any final points?
Yes, Will needs to touch on...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. So...
Do you want to check your phone to see?
No, he did message me, but he didn't send the actual thing because he thought I wouldn't see it. That's fine. It's not important. I'm trying to figure out how to word this in the right way. I have thought about this a lot. Basically, on the game... At the game, the Bay had some issues with a lot of... What's the word I can use to describe them? Hooligans, numbskulls, just
bags.
Dumb
Children, dumb, stupid kids who decided to show up, try and break the flags, chuck some slurs around at all the actual Glory fans who were trying to get chants going, deliberately not sing to try and, boo the atmosphere and just cause havoc. And when I say to you there was absolutely nothing done throughout the whole game to help out all the actual active supporters to stop this from happening, I mean nothing was done.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how many times they talk to security, head of security, they just keep saying, we're working on it, guys, don't worry. And by the end of the game, there was no point, right?
Mm-hmm.
I talked with security after the game and I kind of rattled off a few of the issues and asked so like I said, so when this happens, what do you then do, like as a policy?
Yeah.
To which he responded saying, there's only 2 of us here. I'm only doing what I'm told. And that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Like he's under strict instructions. I then went to try and he told me to go talk to this guy who's the head of security. Went to go talk to him. He just blatantly ignored me and just walked away.
Completely ignored.
Yeah, I tried to talk to him and say, hey, I just got told, and he just completely just walked away. So there's the lack of communication there.
Typical with the Seccos at HBF Park.
Of course.
Venues
And
West.
to add
Is
on
that
top,
Venues West or is it NIB?
No. Venues West.
and then to add on top of this, the capo for the night allegedly threw a plastic cup which he was given, which then landed on the field behind the goal.
Yeah.
And according to what he was then told by the Secchies, is that he's now at risk of a 1-year ban because of it.
That's ridiculous.
So not only were there people trying to snap flags, calling other actual supporters multiple slurs, which I won't repeat on the podcast, obviously, because you can't.
Yep.
Making fun of someone who was trying to set up a GoPro and saying that that's this and that, whatever.
Calling him slurs.
Calling him slurs in front of the Secchies who did nothing.
Yep.
But then the capo who threw a plastic cup which landed behind the goal now is facing a 1-year ban.
Mm.
When I say to you that is one of the most absurd things I've ever heard.
It's because security's lazy, right? They've got an easy excuse to kick someone out versus, they've got to de-escalate a situation.
Alex and I were in Sydney for the derby.
Yeah.
The amount of leeway that was given to fans to be able to, walk through the streets doing their parades and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying Perth's anywhere near that.
Yeah.
And it was obviously a pre-organised march, but the mutual respect that was shown between security guards and police officers from the fans, and the understanding that this is the line, don't cross it, which the fans didn't.
Yep.
And it was a peaceful thing. There were flares here and there, but they understood to not throw it here or throw it there. And this was a part of the deal. And it worked a treat. No one was kicked out. Everyone had a great time at the derby. To throw a plastic cup, and I'm not saying that he should have thrown it, right? But my point being is that if that's the line, apparently, to get banned for a year, is for it to land behind the pitch after the goalkeeper's going like this to the fans. So it's not like he did it unprovoked. The goalkeeper went and did that to the bay, right?
Mm.
Apparently, that's the line, but trying to break club property and using multiple slurs and trying to cause fights, apparently that's fine.
Exactly.
Well,
and my issue with this as well, was their reasoning as to why they didn't. I'm going to take my glasses off for this because it's actually serious.
No, the reasoning
they gave, okay, and you guys are just hearing about this from the first time. Will was speaking to him. I was there listening to it.
Yep.
The reasoning he gave as to why he didn't kick out any of the people that were clearly there to cause shit, that were trying to break the flags, that were calling people slurs, these are the same people the entire game.
Yep.
The reason they didn't kick him out is because he said, and I quote, because what they didn't start a fight or didn't incite any violence, therefore we don't need to kick him out.
Even though the only reason no violence started is because the actual supporters weren't trying to start a fight.
Exactly. So I said, well, I didn't say it to him, right?
Yeah.
But I did say it to you.
Yeah.
If I were to call someone a slur to their face in front of the secco, that's fine. Nothing for me. But if I were then to accidentally trip over someone, or if I were to, bump into someone in front of the security, he then turns around and punches me in the face, that is viewed as a more serious offense on my part than me calling someone a slur.
And I will say the words being used.
A very homophobic slur that has gotten numerous fans banned in the past. And James, you and I would know about this. That has gotten fans banned in the past.
Yep.
This is not acceptable.
No.
And it's something that the club has to deal with personally.
We're conscious of time, but I just want to say
No one's in after us.
This is probably, and it's important that it does get raised because there's been so much discourse in general about crowd numbers.
Yes.
And when we're trying to get something going with active support at the club, we need everyone on board. And if we've got some dickheads who've got no interest in the club that are coming in and ruining things,
you publicly praise the Bay on Twitter,
Bay, Shed, all the above,
saying, "Wow, thank you." You know, they on Twitter.
When we went to Sydney.
They praised us for being there. That's fantastic. Thanks for the recognition. But also, now it's also time to back up those words and actually help out the active support when they need it, instead of just pretending that they don't exist.
Thanks for backing the active support that travelled nearly 4,000 kilometres to go to the game.
Paid thousands of dollars.
Thanks for the Instagram post. Unfortunately, one of those members, who is also the capper of the Bay, is now facing a year-long ban because he threw an empty paper cup after being called slurs to his face the entire game while the security did nothing about it.
This is something probably, and again, probably Anthony Radich should be something for you to, ideally help out in whatever way you can.
Because it's a disgrace.
Because heading into the next home game, something needs to get sorted.
Yep.
Again, I'm very conscious of time because we're basically done.
Yep.
We're fine. We'll
be fine. But this, if anyone from the club is listening, seriously,
that's where to start.
If anything, the benefit of the Shed being that you can only get in there with a Shed membership or a Shed ticket is that you have everyone's details. You know who's in there. You know, if someone causes shit, people know who it is. They can get kicked out. They can get charged. You need more security for the Bay. You need more people watching the Bay because anyone can just walk in there. Those little fucking shitty wristbands don't fucking do anything because anyone could. Ted fucking Bundy could walk up, get a wristband, and go stand down in the Bay. It doesn't mean anything.
It's true. Yeah.
Unless you're going to sell Bay-specific tickets in which you have to have a checklist at the start of the game in which you get checked off to go in, or you have to give your name and contact detail, whatever. Doesn't matter. You need more security for the Bay because it is very young men trying to control a sizable audience there.
So my plea purely is this: either take it seriously,
or scrap the idea.
Like, either publicly say this isn't going to work, we're not allowing it, or back it. Don't leave these poor people in limbo who are trying to make something work, who are only trying to bring a better atmosphere. Don't ruin their experience through incompetency. That's all I'm asking.
All right, we'll wrap it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into episode 45 of the Glory Days pod. Bit of a
long one.
A bit of a long one, yeah. Hopefully, a good performance against Adelaide.
Fingers crossed.
Very, very hopeful that we can go into the Christmas break with a good result. Next week will be our last episode until the new year, I believe, right?
Potentially,
Yeah, something like that.
We'll see. We'll keep you guys updated.
But we'll keep you guys updated. Make sure to follow all of our socials. Thank you all so much for tuning in on YouTube and Spotify. And until the next episode, it is bye for now.
Thank you.